Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Hello!
Hello.
Welcome.
I said let's go so loud. I just realized.
Let's go. It's okay. We have filters on. Nobody's ears
Where are
should
we
hopefully hurt.
going?
Let's go.
Where?
Guys, do you notice that we all look amazingly clear on screen right now?
Oh,
I'm so excited.
I know.
Not just Hero has pores.
Not just me. Everyone has pores.
Yeah.
that is true. That is factual.
Except for me, because I used the poreless primer, but that's besides the point.
Stop bragging, Jade.
I have a lot of makeup, okay? I hope that people can see it.
But hello. Hi, friends.
Samuel, thank you for the follow, by the way.
Sam. Hi, friend. Welcome.
in.
You guys are so awesome. I'm so glad everyone's here today. We are going to be doing some chitty chatties because Pond, our DM, is, you know, on the baby might be coming soon train. So they're resting today, which is totally fair. And we thought we would just chat about...
Yeah. It took me a second. I was like, wait.
The
spelling.
Pregante. Yes. Yes. So we figured we would come and chat about some things, including the characters for next game, or any questions you guys might have about the game that we're currently playing, or anything in between. We also had a tragic event happen. We played a whole little Session 0 one-shot game, and it died. It is gone into the ether, was not actually recorded, doesn't exist anymore, the end. We had a good time, and it was just for us. So we're going to talk about that, too.
It was a good time, though.
It was a really good time.
We swore never to speak of this again.
Well, I mean, I didn't say any... If the shoe fits, Hero.
That's fair. That's fair.
But we have so many lovely friendos here. We got Buzzkill and Cosmolark and Gothic Storyteller. Hello, friends.
Whoa!
Oh my gosh, Jade Valkyrie's in chat, guys.
Oh my god.
The Jade Valkyrie.
Tell her I said hi.
Gothic Storyteller and Soraya and Danny Phantom. Hello! I'm so excited to see everybody. And Nerdcraft by Bree, thank you for stopping by. You guys are
And
awesome.
the star of the show, Budspot.
What spot?
Thank you, Buttspot. Thank you.
Missed you, buddy. Missed you.
Low Potion and Samuel One World Productions and Arcline, all the lovely friends. Thank you guys for stopping in. We'll be chatting with you guys more, like, directly, since we're not playing a game.
Yeah. Look,
Oh, man.
specialize.
So where do we want to start? Do we want to talk about the lost game, or do we want to talk about the characters you guys made, or what do you guys want? Where do you guys want to start?
I feel like the characters would be great because that's a good context to the situation
okay.
Yes,
that we
100%.
found ourselves in. But that doesn't mean that I have to go first. So I'm gonna put George on the spot.
Jen, do you want to set the story at all? Like you set the...
Sure. Yeah, I can set the story for the world that I have crafted for people. Let me open up my light.
Sorry, George.
Writing that I did.
Yes. Yes, Hero.
Sorry, George.
Oh, that's fine.
Sorry, George, you want to talk? Just kidding, I am. Okay,
Just
so...
Take it away!
So I have Circle of Pores, $55. Oh my god. Thank you.
I love all of it.
I didn't know I needed it.
Oh my god.
Lovely. Yeah, you guys, we do have a game to fund. It has already been met with the $400 for our character art. So we extended the fund to $1,000, which will cover emotes for everybody, which will cover what else did we say?
I think we have a list, but the emotes
We have a list.
and animated
Intro animation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
logo, emotes, animated intros, a Capamon potentially.
Yeah,
As well as, like, you know, things that we need for, like, general production and social media. So, like, social media schedulers, video editors potentially for clips. There's so much that goes on for production.
Yeah.
And we're gonna try and get a laundry list so you know what's going on. But also,
100%.
we'll try to do that a lot with our Patreon. That'll be launching later this month. So then you have a full picture of like all the shenanigans and like work stuff that happens behind the scenes. So
Yeah, I think it's gonna be really awesome. It's gonna be cool to see behind the curtain and all the stuff that goes on into putting it together.
Yeah, we want to be as transparent. Yes.
Playlist.
Oh my god.
I made a meme playlist for Rowan that I'll probably just pop in there just cause.
Just cause.
I will make one too. I will make one for Aurelian.
Yeah, because it can be like this definitely relates to the character, but then also things that the character would like be like, hell yeah too. So like
they would listen to. Yeah.
You girls are ruining my life. It's not something that Rowan would like. But it's definitely something that she would be like, oh yeah, this goes hard. She's like that. So it's just fun stuff like that, you know? So
hi Friendship and PDW, welcome.
Hello. But you can also tell us what you want in the Patreon if you have like, you know, just dying questions or you need the content. And I need it. And it is. I need it. It's in our Discord under help and suggest. I put a question in there, and we already have some great requests and feedback already. But feel free to add that to in the Discord, so then we know and we have it written down, so we'll never forget.
Perfect.
Yes. Definitely.
And you gave me good ideas for my playlist for Danis.
Oh, nice.
It's gonna be like my music taste. It goes back and forth between extremely happy and extremely angry.
Oh god, that's so great. Yeah.
Murder the ship.
We have
but also
Cookie Danis and Unraged Danis. I love that. I'm actually really excited for that. Because find new music. That's what I've done for my character to be announced.
Man, I do not know what Nisa's music would be.
I feel like there'd be some like, I was gonna say industrial, some techno, like I feel like
techno. I was thinking like actual
for sure.
Like techno.
But also like, you know, there's like working songs and you know.
Yeah.
You remember the scene in I can't remember the name of the movie. Oh no, with JP, the half robot.
Oh my god, Grandma's Boy? Yeah, yes. When he's in the chair and he's like programming, that one.
Yep,
yeah.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
Gotcha.
How did he see me?
How could he see me?
How much do clothes cost in the Matrix?
Me with my League of Legends brain, it's like, is Nisa like the less crazy version of Jinx? And so she's just like, let's do this. Let's blow stuff up.
No Imagine Dragons, please.
I'm adding it now. I like Imagine Dragons.
Okay.
Somebody has to do it. Oh, fuck. Oh, sorry, that one just slipped out.
They are really good at writing songs for things, but will I pay to see them live? No. Actually, their live performance of Enemy was really, really bad. So,
no!
Really?
That's
Jid do an amazing job. Like, he's a really great upcoming rapper, in case you guys are curious about music taste. But, but, I mean, sometimes the melodies are really catchy, even if anyone could have performed it. It didn't have to be Imagine Dragons. But
oh, the melody.
Oh, the misery.
Did it. Yeah. I know that for campaign 2, I'll be making a Spotify playlist for all the DMs out there who want to use the music that you'll hear on stream.
Nice. That'll be awesome.
So I'll make a whole playlist of everything that you hear. That's my plan for playlists, at least.
Nerdcuff by Breeze and Blow by Kesha, and that is
this play's about to play.
Kesha is a legend. So
true. Facts.
So after Pond is actually we have a couple things happening. Man, Pond is going to be taking a 6-week break for newborn, which is completely fair. We're excited for them to be doing that, and we're also excited to see cute pictures of baby.
Happy.
But during those 6 weeks, we are going to be playing in canon one-shots, 6 of them, with different guests. And all of the people on the show are going to be playing different characters every time.
So cool.
And it's going to be super, super fun. And all of those games are going to be canon to the world. So any of the characters that are played by the guest or by the people playing, like those can be people that you guys run into at some point.
I think that's so cool.
Thanks.
Sorry, that's just like the coolest thing.
I'm so glad you think so.
One of the
Hi,
characters existing in the world is already chaos, and I apologize in advance. It is the one that you have played with before, Jen.
Good.
I will say the opposite and say you're welcome, because now you have some extreme plot devices. That you
I mean, it's...
Also, hi, Arkwood Starfish.
Hello.
And Gingy. Welcome in.
And PDW.
Hey.
Hello, Gingy. Hello.
It's such a good idea too from like a DM perspective, because I mean, like we're populating NPCs, right? We're filling some good guys, some bad guys, you know.
Yeah.
Some
I have
chaos minions.
What I'm really trying to do,
Definitely
yes, absolutely, especially for one of the one shots. Hi, Sen.
Yes.
Welcome in. So the one shots all have very different themes, and they are all telling a different story that was laid out by the pre-game games that I ran for two different groups. We played A Quiet Year, which is a like tabletop game. You draw cards, and as like a group, you like build a map. So I have the map of the world laid out because you guys did it when the ones who did play, because Hero and George played the first game, and then we had randos play the second one, which was super fun. Jade was gonna do it but was stuck in traffic.
No.
I was stuck in 3 hours of LA traffic trying to go just 15 miles.
Jeez.
Went through 6 episodes of Demon Slayer, still was tired. And I just, so LA sucks. That's all we're gonna say.
Completely understand. But now you like get a surprise. But also there's a lot of like factors that you guys will tie together, especially if you played A Quiet Year game. And also as you're playing through the main story, you'll be like, oh, this was like a callback to the one shot, or this one shot caused this event that we are handling right now, or something like that. So that is why I'm doing it. I think it'll tie you into the world. It'll make you feel more immersed, and also it shows that like the world keeps moving even if you're doing one thing. There's multiple things happening.
A part of your backstory.
Yeah. That would be super cool, actually, to have a part of your backstory be some of the one shots, like maybe one of them is your parent or something.
Yeah, good idea. Let's
dun, dun, dun.
You're my dad. Boogie, boogie, boogie.
I have the one shot themes planned out already. We have let me see. 6. I don't know why I was like, how many are we doing? We 6. So for the first one, it is called Initiation into the Thieves Syndicate. So that is the name of it. And this is going to give like you guys and viewers like insight into the Thieves Guild that is like underground in some city that you might be in at some point. And then the second one is like a royal transport job that a group of adventurers take. So this could be super interesting, possibly, maybe, who knows. Number 3 is a group of dragon hunters, and this one is going to be the most prevalent to the story, which I think will be super fun. Number 4 is a murder mystery, because everyone loves those. Number 5 is going to be super cool, because this is going to be you guys populating the world with enemies.
Oh no.
So
that's so scary and so cool.
Each of the players are going to be tasked with creating not a B-bag, but like a sub-B-bag.
Yeah.
Maybe why are they in prison and why are they getting out? How are they getting out? Things like that. So that'll be super cool.
I've already started with that character and she's unreasonably hot, so we already made it.
I'm ready.
Oh boy. Whoops.
And then the 6th one, before Pawn's return, we are doing a Minions game, largely influenced by the game that George made me play called I Dark Overlord, where you draw cards, it gives you prompts, and you have to explain in a minion voice to the Dark Overlord why you failed your task while he was out on vacation.
That's
You don't
so
have to
cool.
do the minion voice. I made you all do the minion voice.
It was so much
because
fun.
I was the Dark Overlord.
I love
It was
that.
super, super fun. So that one's going to be a fun one, and you get to get a little insight into the bee bag and some of the minions that are going to be in the castle or whatever, or tower or whatever, wherever he is. Who knows? So that was super fun. Have you guys planned any characters for those already?
Oh yes.
I was literally on the couch, like sitting, relaxing, just watching some TV on the couch earlier today. Just slumped over, and then I was like, "Oh, I gotta make my characters."
Dude.
I
was
made
like,
one.
That's
You made
2
one?
weeks
I mean,
away. It'll
what,
be
what
fine.
one did you make?
What did you
So
make?
I already have one thought out, I believe. But I made the one for the Thieves Syndicate one, I believe the first one.
Yeah.
Yep.
That we're doing with someone. Are we announcing
should we
that
talk
yet?
about our guests? We could talk about our guests. We have mostly all of them. I'm waiting on one person to confirm.
I would
We're
say, we'll announce this one this week, and then we'll
Each week.
Once
after
maybe
we start?
each week we'll figure that out, because like
Cool.
I don't
At
want
least episode 1.
yeah
Yeah.
and the
So who do
person's
we
in
have
chat,
for
so
episode 1?
First one, which is in 2 weeks, is that right?
Yes, April
Yep.
25th.
Nice.
It's our first one, and we'll have the lovely the Golden Mug currently in chat right
Woo!
now, joining
Heck
us.
yeah.
I was invited to be in a one-shot over on his channel, and he's a great DM. I'm excited to have him on. He's also a wonderful meme maker in the community, populating the
true.
meme channel with good old memes with the Potato Fam.
Are you
Gothic
guys
storytellers. Sorry, nope,
We
I'm
have a
talking a lot.
question.
Please.
including- Gothic Storyteller asks, are you guys including any Cthulhu mythos?
So- Spoiler territory? Possibly.
Ooh.
It's so possibly, but the answer is no. Unless
No?
you know, it's
Unless.
a no unless.
Okay.
That's my answer to you is no, there's not unless. So I have a reoccurring character. That's all you gotta say, Jen. I have a reoccurring NPC that shows up in every single game that I've ever DM'd, ever, except one-shots. And I call them the Mask Lady. They are just a person who walks around with fancy masks. And I have a D100 table on the mask and that you would pull off of her, or buy from her, or steal from her, whatever you do. And what it does. One mask on that D100 is a mask that you put it on, and when you try to take it off, you have to make a wisdom saving throw. If you pass it, you successfully take the mask off. But if you fail it, you permanently take like a -1 to your wisdom modifier. And then if you put it on again, you'll start permanently gaining +2 every time. But if you overuse it, Cthulhu comes and destroys you.
What?
So that's kind of it. I also have some masks that are like themed, like the masks from Crash Bandicoot. I don't know. They're fun. They're
Oh,
so much
God,
fun.
yeah.
But it's 100% based on if someone does anything. You can be like, "Go away, old kooky lady," or you could be like, "Yes, I'm intrigued."
Well, now
Roll a
I'm very
D100
intrigued. Like,
and see what you get. Ooga booga, exactly. So yeah, technically there's Cthulhu myth, but not really. It is
Unless
It exists
Unless-
somewhere as a possibility in the world, though. Like,
yes, it
that
does
means
exist.
that you could potentially also play a warlock who believes in that deity, and then
There you
it's
go.
gonna be
There's
in
the
world.
unless.
Mhm,
Unless. I'm getting
Yes,
happy mask salesman vibes. Yes, actually, that is a inspiration.
I love that.
Is this a Q&A style stream tonight? Yes. Please ask us
Totally.
questions. Ask us anything you'd like. We're just vibing,
Just vibing.
talking about the new games. We're excited to have Gup on for the awesome Thieves Syndicate game.
Very excited.
And I'm excited for you guys to learn about the world in this way. Like, versus just me reading you a synopsis before we start playing.
100%.
Yeah. George, did you say what character you made?
I did not. Did you mean for the second
Yeah.
campaign?
One-shots.
Oh,
For the-
one-shots.
for the-
No,
Oh, yeah.
I did not.
Thieves Syndicate one. You said you
Yeah.
made one for them.
I did not say what I made.
Did you not say it on purpose?
Yes,
Oh, on purpose.
Oh, on
Okay.
on purpose.
Can you give
I'm-
us a little snippet?
Just a little teaser, just a little,
A little teasy?
just a little something. Just a little something.
No, I don't think so.
All right.
Oh my god. Is anyone thinking of anything?
Oh yeah, because I am the queen of recycling characters. So we have, I'm not sure which order these are going to be in, but we have a storm sorcerer who is literally like just like, I'm so and so, maybe you've heard of me. Like it's almost like a Star-Lord kind of thing. It's like I am so powerful. Like you're like, who?
Yeah.
So she's one, and all of her cousins have different elemental abilities, so they might pop up too. Unreasonably hot evil lady, a literal like combination of a Trolls doll and Zoe from League of Legends. She's 90% hair and 10% chaos.
Love it.
And a very serious, very tall dragon sailor lady that I already had, and I was like, dragons, she's perfect. So yeah, but they were all people from one shots that I've always wished that I had like, you know, more time with them. So this is a great opportunity, and I also think that they had a lot of. I wrote a lot of backstory because this was in the beginning of me playing one shots with people I didn't know. So I was like, I don't know how much backstory I need, so I just put a bunch, and now I gift them to you, Jen.
I'm so
Nice.
excited.
I can talk about, or I will talk about two characters that I'm playing.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to be playing a small little lizard folk named Purper, and he is so excited to hang out with you all, and I just don't know if I'm gonna be able to occupy all of your time, and I hope that if I do, that we all enjoy ourselves. So
Is that? So now I feel like we have to guess like which adventure that's a part of, right? Like,
oh, you probably won't.
is it the
I'm just-
Minions? Is it the Minions one? Is it the Minions?
I feel like it's not. I feel like that's too much of a giveaway.
That's too obvious.
Is it the
We
Minions or
have to-
not?
We gotta keep it on our toes. But I saw a question from Red Dead Ginger 94. I guess I got a question. I've only seen y'all play via Discord and Roll20, but what method do you guys prefer playing as far as in person versus online? Yeah.
Do you want to go
So that's a
around?
question. Whoever.
I spend so much money when I play in person on things for the table.
Which I love. That's great. Like,
Yeah,
so
I
cool.
definitely love playing in person, and obviously if that's ever an option for this group, I'm taking it. But
Yes.
yeah, I do like playing online because it's easy and I can play with everybody all over the place. But in person is definitely more my preference, I think. What do you guys?
I wouldn't say that I prefer playing in person.
Mhm.
I think that both playing online and playing in person have their advantages. It's a lot. It's like a lot easier for everyone to be like focused on the story when you play online, because you cannot talk over each other. Like you can't have side conversations.
It's true.
But there's an energy about playing with other people, and if we could play like at a table every week and film it, like that would be amazing.
Yes,
No,
but
man.
that's goals.
Sparrow.
Bought a house.
That's our next
It's the mature
ridiculous.
thing.
After
Yeah.
we get like our real shit, it's GoFundMe for Sparrow to fly.
It's just gonna be his plane trips each time, back and forth
Yeah.
for each
Be
session.
like every time we hit this
Donate your
goal-
miles.
Yeah.
We're accepting air miles now.
Pull up to Southwest email being like, would you like to sponsor a tabletop RPG show?
I mean,
I heard that you have 2 bags for free, and I think that we can do a lot with that.
oh my god, yes.
Yeah,
That would be so cool to play with everybody.
it would.
Jade,
I
what
think
about you?
we'll
What
definitely
do you
make
like
it
to-
happen at least once.
will.
I would say I kind of prefer online just because I get to play with you guys.
Well,
Well, see,
I
that
love
ruins my
you.
answer, because I was gonna be like, well, it's so nice to play in person.
I mean, I do enjoy some types of playing in person, but with my personal experience of playing in person, the people I play in person with
Mhm.
are definitely more of the very casual D&D players. Not saying
Yes.
that we're like hardcore professional D&D, TPRPG players. Like we know the rules, but like it's a very much more of a casual thing. So like there will be a lot of breaks in between, a lot of memes from people. So it's really hard to focus on like I guess the role play aspect, especially since those groups I play with are mostly combat. So it's just like
right.
there's like 6 of us. I'm like, when is my turn? I
Yeah.
try to explain my spell and it gets cut off.
Yes.
Oh, that makes me so mad.
Yeah, which is like I understand because they have different priorities when they're playing
Right.
D&D, but it's like it's just a different experience from what my preferences are.
Yeah.
So that's why I like to play in person. But if I could do that kind of stuff in person, that would be the best
so
thing.
Yes.
What about you, Hero?
Yeah.
Gonna shit on Jade's answer now?
Yeah, no. No, I mean, my answer is pretty similar, because I really do love playing in person. I love, kind of mirroring what George said, but there's a certain energy that you get just like sitting around a table together, and a certain connection that's just super cool. But my experience from in-person games has been more of that casual, like beer and pretzel style game. So it's I haven't gotten to play the type of game that I've wanted to play, which we've been doing here. So the super role play heavy, everybody's into it and focusing on what's going on, and so I love that. But yeah, it'd be super cool if we could do this in person. It'd be the best of both worlds.
So fun.
One of my favorite parts is like inter-party conflict, and you don't get that at a beer and pretzels min-maxy style table.
Yes.
Like
True.
you have people actually arguing about
yeah.
who gets what item,
That
and that
happens.
is
Oh, God,
that's
yeah.
not fun.
It's not fun at all.
No, it's awkward.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Also,
that was wild.
Golden Mug, I believe the purper voice is very different from you turn the page, you wash your hands. You turn the page, you wash your hands.
True.
True.
Fair, fair.
True.
I,
True.
Yeah,
I
someone thought I was
have-
really mad at them. I'm sorry. You can go ahead.
you're fine. I'm talking about playing in person more.
Yeah,
Oh, that
let's
was
talk
that was
about
my
it.
thing. That was my experience as it's a story about a incident that happened when I was playing in person. So Jen, you can go first with your story. It's
Oh,
Story time.
I definitely enjoy this group, and that's what makes me feel like this is my favorite way of playing. Obviously, like if this group could play in person, it'd be like chef's kiss, amazing. But at the end of the day, I think we have a lot of fun the way it is right now.
That's true.
Very true.
And it's exactly how I want to play. I've always wanted high roleplay games. And in my in-person group that I played with pretty regularly here in Colorado, was a beer and pretzels, except more of like a bong rips and Cheetos type group.
Sure.
So it was a group that started serious and got very slow towards the end of the night. And everyone went home at 2 a.m. So
Nice.
that was kind of my in-person experience. But prior to that, I played with the same group for like my entire life prior to moving to Colorado. And they were not. Over time, they just got comfortable with playing the same types of characters. They never tried anything different. And it was a lot of the same. And battling numbers on a page versus battling monsters.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll happen. Yeah, I think mine's kind of similar, but I mean, I guess a little bit more specific. Yeah, so it was like a one of my first like in-person campaigns, and I made a character who wasn't like, you know, super into like antagonisty, but the crux of her character is that rich people killed her family, so she has the mentality that if you have money, therefore you have power, so money is power.
Yeah.
So all she did was make sure that she had her proper share of the gold for the quest.
Yeah.
And someone tried to steal it from her, and she just wanted to unarmed strike. And that apparently translated to, oh, Jade the person doesn't like me. And I was just like,
Oh,
she's
no.
been so explicit this entire time about why she is this like this. So I guess that's another thing, is this like with online it's a lot easier, and there's a culture with tabletop like streaming and like the communities that we have online for that, where a lot of us do have those discussions about what are our priorities. Do we like role play? Are we more combat focused? And there's really not like that like expectation that you're blurring lines. Hopefully. I mean, I'm saying that the tabletop RPG is like a family and we all love each other, because that's just unrealistic. But we do have like a good line of communication, and that's part of the reasons why I think Feywild and that works so well, is because we do communicate well with each other.
True.
So that's one of the good parts about at least meeting people online. So it's not necessarily like, oh, but that's my friend, so I can't really criticize them, etc. Because they might think that I'm being mean or whatnot. But like, you know, I digress. There's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah,
There's so much to
totally
unpack
get
there.
it. Totally
we do
get
have
it.
another question in case if we would like to move on.
We have
but-
two more questions.
Yeah,
handful.
definitely.
A little handful of questions.
Yeah.
I believe. Oh, go. You can go ahead, Hero.
I was just gonna say that like being able to separate like the player from the character, like just with that role playing and being invested in playing a character, and then everybody else having that same goal, just makes it easier. Like we can have drama in our stories, but then like not at the table, and I think that's great. Like that's, you know, what I want. I love the drama. I do.
The drama. Get mad at me in character.
Yeah, do it, please. Yeah.
The amount of times that Pond and I have like gone head to head, and after the game we've been like, "Hi, I love you." I'm like, "Hi, I love you too."
Yeah.
Every time, because it's like our characters will argue, and people in chat of wherever we are is just like, "Wow, this is great," and then it's just, are they mad at each other?
Yeah. Acting. And scene.
We had a question at the beginning. Let me scroll up really quick.
Is it the one from Gothic Storyteller?
Yes.
It is what got us into playing this adventure. And then Hero asked players or as players or as characters, and they responded with as players. So what got us into, I guess, Feywild and out? And
wow. Well.
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 Jen.
Hi. So
We all
I
love Ben.
I do.
Thanks. I love you guys. We had a other D&D channel that Pond was on for over a year, and we decided to add a new show, the new show being the people that you see right now. And we ended up working so well together that truly it just worked best that we worked on our own show. And it's just been up from there. It's been really, really good. And I'm so excited to have asked you guys, Pond asked Jade, asked you guys to audition to be on the show, because look at us.
Yeah.
We're doing the thing.
It's so cool.
The best part is that the two mute cutes that I had with Pond were both times in which we roleplayed so hard that we didn't have time to do the rest of the one shot.
Nice.
That is
Pond was
exactly
probably
how.
like, that's exactly who I want.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pond and I started, I guess, like the second show, and we picked who was on it, and I think we did good.
I sure hope so.
I think you did too.
Yeah.
I was the late addition.
You were.
But a
I
good
know.
addition.
Poor
A great addition.
George
There always
being
has
last.
to.
I was so worried that I was gonna like step on toes coming in, and I was like, this character's got to be like the right kind of character to fit into a pre-established dynamic. And
True.
I came in and it felt so natural.
It
Yeah.
was
I was so
weird.
glad.
Well, it was
I
pretty
honestly
much.
don't remember a time in which Danis was not a part of the party, which is really funny.
Yeah. No.
It's true.
Absolutely. Honestly, yeah.
Yeah, we played the one game without Danis,
Yeah.
and then Danis came in the second game.
Yeah.
So it was crazy.
It fits
But
so
yeah,
well. Yeah.
there has to be a couple in every D&D group. It's just the rules.
And there's me and Hero, so
Yeah, and I,
True.
you know,
Oh,
we're
okay.
happy to satisfy that
And
requirement.
there's me and Jade then.
Find
you
them.
said one couple.
Now there's two.
It's only room for one. Oh my god. I'm sorry, George.
This is also sudden.
Oh, I love it.
I was picked last for dodgeball all the time. Not that I was bad, but because I aim for the groin a lot.
Oh
Gothic
my
storyteller.
god.
You're first on my
I am
dodgeball
for
team.
the-
Nice.
I am
On
for
my
the head.
Not aiming for this groin.
I was always
Aim
picked
for the head or
last,
the
totally.
feet.
I was a relatively athletic kid. I have
Sure.
no idea how to throw a dodgeball.
I was
That's
not athletic at all. I was shorter than I am now. It was like,
That is how childhood works.
I mean,
Oh my
yes, but I mean, like,
Got him.
yeah, I was tiny, height wise, and yeah, was not a good dodgeball player.
Did you play any
dodgeball's
sports
hard.
though? If you Hero, you
No.
strike me as a wrestling guy.
See, that's so funny. I played no sports, like no sports. I never
Not?
exercised or worked out.
Funny, I
Like
played no sports.
I played none of
High
them.
school made me play sports. So.
What'd you do in high school?
I read my D&D manuals at home.
Oh, I'm so happy about this.
Oh, precious. I love that.
I did cheerleading, but not for the
Ooh.
high school. I did competitive cheerleading through like a.
Oh shit.
That's the better kind. I mean, not
It is.
to.
It's not like the better kind, but it's like the actually athletic kind.
I was the non.
All right, we're building a pyramid. Yay!
For a semester. Yeah, and then
You
I was
did
like,
what
wait.
for a semester?
I was the non-athletic kind for a semester, and then I realized that because I had a lot of guy friends who were on the football team, so I was like, this will be easy.
Yeah,
And
that's
it was
cool.
all about like being like not because all cheerleaders are like that, but the people that were in that cheer group at the time were all about like we're gonna look so pretty and blah 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 blah. And so I was like, bye bye, I'm gonna be a water girl for the football team. And to talk to my friends because they weren't like star athletes, they were on the sidelines. So just be like, hey, you need some water? How's life been?
Yeah.
There you go.
I love it.
Yeah.
I really liked cheer. I did it for like four or 5 years. And it made me very athletic. I don't know what happened now. I was a single base. So
Mood.
technically in a lot of high school cheers, they give that spot to a guy because they just make assumptions that males are stronger. So they're the guy that picks up the one single person by themselves. But bitch, that was me.
That
I picked up the smallest girl on the team. She was 75 pounds and so
Holy
tiny. She was great.
That's
She was like in
crazy.
5th grade or something. It was so crazy.
I can't do sports because of a bleeding disorder. Well, I couldn't do contact sports, so they were like, "You could ride horses." I was like, "Horses smell like shit." You could
Ride
play
horses?
water polo. I can't swim that well.
Ringworm.
Feel you.
You could play golf.
I'm sorry.
Golf?
That was a
I'm
sport
a
in high school.
teenager. I don't own a boat. I can't complain that much about the weather. They won't even let me rent a fucking golf cart.
Damn.
So I got
Yeah.
golf lessons, and
so anyways, I played golf.
so I busted my mouth open with a fucking club bending down to get a ball one time, and and I stopped doing golf. So I went to a lot of metal shows and I played a lot of D&D.
Hey.
True.
I went to a
That
lot of
seems like a
hardcore
vibe.
shows. That was my scene.
I went to a lot of
I
punk
did
shows.
some hardcore shows as well.
Yeah.
I did punk shows and every year Warp Tour, and
Same.
all my friends had piercings and tattoos underage, and I'm just like the one wearing pink around all my friends who wore black every day. And
Is that
It
not?
was-
Well, I guess this stream you are not. You.
I am
are
technically wearing like a
Let's
work,
say it's like, is
like
this
a
not
work
now?
blouse.
Look at everybody. Like everybody's color choices.
That's
just,
true. That's true.
But yeah,
I
think
had the most color of all my friends.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that so much.
I didn't.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Well, okay, we talked about sports and then like music. Okay. Well, for sports, I had to play 3 sports in high school. So I played volleyball, basketball, and softball.
Wow.
As soon as that requirement was lifted, my sophomore year, I quit everything but volleyball.
Volleyball's
And then
fun.
played volleyball from 5th grade and to college and played D3 volleyball because that's like the sport I'm
Ooh.
actually good at.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm very good at like standing still and catching like very, very hard serves. And this shit goes at like 50 miles per hour or some shit. Like, you know, when you like serve and Wii golf and like you get a really good one and then the
Wii
smoke
golf.
becomes behind or the Wii tennis when the smoke becomes behind the ball. That's literally what it felt like. But since I was really good at that, that just made me a very valuable player. So yeah, that was the only one I could do because all the other ones running and I'm asthmatic. So volleyball is the most, I guess, asthmatic friendly of the sort.
I love that.
My dad, who I based off Rowan's dad when I played that character, I based a character off my dad. It was really funny. Was in a metal band, so I went to a lot of his shows to sell merch. And then some like I guess hard rock shows myself, and then I got dragged to a lot of I guess alt music. I don't remember the bands, but they're like, "We should go," and I had because with that band agreement, the guy that ran it's Oklahoma City, so like there's only like 2 venues. So that one venue, the guy was like, "Oh, you're Mario's kid. Yeah, you can come in." So I would get free tickets to everything. So it'd just be like,
Hell
okay,
yeah.
if you need a friend to go to a concert, I'll go with you. So like I've seen Walk the Moon, but that was before the one song that got popular.
See, you're already doing it. It was before it was cool.
I don't know. It was just really surreal because it was Shut Up and Dance With Me. It was really surreal because they were an opener and they're like, "Okay, guys, we have this new song and it goes like this and it's like da 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 and I want you to say shut up and dance with me." And then like a year later, I heard it everywhere.
That's so cool. I love
So it
that.
was really
I saw
cool, but I was like, "Wow, what the fuck?"
I saw
is
Cage the
going on?"
Elephant before they were cool.
And then it's just like, wait, they're everywhere. Oh
Now
my
they're
God.
everywhere. Well, they were everywhere. They're kind of in now, but they were everywhere.
Yeah.
You wanna hear a weird one that I saw before they were famous, and this is
Yeah,
gonna
let's go.
date me a little bit, but it was the year. The year was 1997. We went out to see a small band called Stone Temple Pilots, and an opener from was it Lodi, Truxell, somewhere in the Northern California region.
Yeah.
It was a small and upcoming band that opened on this tour by the name of Papa Roach, and they played their new hit single, cut my life into pieces.
Oh,
No, it's called The Last Resort.
yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
apologize.
It is
But-
cutting the life into pieces is the last resort.
takes
True.
me back.
Thank you for that clip, Avery. Also, welcome in.
Hi,
Oh.
Avery.
I love that. Yeah, I wasn't born then.
How fucking old are you if you saw them in 97?
Shit, I'm a baby everywhere. God damn it.
Well, that's
okay.
It's been a fun stream, everybody. Good night.
97.
George is old.
Well,
It's
I think
okay.
we've determined
I'm
that Jade is the baby of the group.
I'm usually baby. That's like the
See,
one.
I'm usually baby, but I'm
fighting
27.
over being
I'm
baby.
The only time in which I have not been baby is when
No,
I
I'm
go
Dirty
back.
Dan.
Yeah, I'm
Dan.
Dirty Dan. Is the only time at which I've been baby is like I sometimes help out like my school's esports. Esports, we'll put that in quotation marks thing, and so I'm like, hello, it is I who graduated. Finals, you children. And then in my stream team, which I have this rich sweatshirt about, there is one gal who's a year younger than me, but I will hold that because
Still
sometimes
baby.
being baby is tiring because
I
of
agree.
people reference, and I'm just like, I don't want it to seem like I'm calling you old, but I have no idea what you're saying. Yeah. But I do know Stone Temple Pilots and Papa Roach because, you know, music taste. So.
Who's
I
it?
saw them at BuzzFest, which was in Houston. Well, it probably was more than one place, but I saw
Yeah.
Papa Roach and Evanescence and things like that at BuzzFest.
Evanescence!
Wow,
2007.
Evanescence is a concert I made my parents drive me to Little Rock for, and then I got a guitar pick and I put it in like a little frame, and then I put it in my room for like
I love
Oh,
that.
I really like
I just
Evanescence.
remember my brother was with me for this festival, and he was upset because the male guest on "Wake Me Up Inside" wasn't
the
there.
guy.
He wasn't
Yeah.
there, so they didn't like have that part. And my brother was like, "I hated it.
Should've
My
been
whole
there. I
experience
would've
was
done it."
ruined."
That if we don't have another question in chat, that brings me to a question that I have personally. But
We do
with-
have one, but we can ask it after your
Yeah.
question.
Yeah.
Okay, my one
that.
question, since we're on the topic of music,
Yeah.
is do you have a go-to karaoke song? And the reason why I ask
Yes.
is because "Bring Me to Life" is my go-to karaoke song.
You can sing that. I don't know anyone who can sing that song.
I used to be a musical theater major. Actually,
Oh,
am
wow,
a musical
yeah.
theater major.
I
so
love that. That's
That's
so
just- That's
good.
part of the hopefully Patreon content if I can figure out how to mix.
Ooh.
If I could, I don't know how to music production, so
George does.
I guess.
Whoa!
George has
So
been
we will
volunteered to
ask-
produce
Hey,
an
I know
album?
things about you.
That was one of the goals that I had, was to at least have one song canonically sung by the character that I'm playing.
That would be so
Yes.
cool.
It'll be a cover because I can't write shit. I can just sing what other people wrote. So yeah,
Okay,
that's it.
okay.
My go-to songs are Blink 182 songs always, and I don't sing them. I just kind
I
of
mean,
wail in everyone's ears, and they are happy.
I mean,
About
that's
it.
They
been
are happy, or
They
else.
better be.
You want to go to a party, my friends pick me up.
That's what I said. That's what I sounded like.
rock show. Yeah, like they're all like
It's me.
that. It's
Yes.
the, you
Nice.
have to have the accent, you know, the like pop punk accent, and you're.
Oh my god, yeah.
That pop punk accent. It's true.
Where are you?
Where are you? George, should you do
Oh, I'm
karaoke?
so sorry. George is an amazing singer. He's not going to tell you, but he
Yeah, speak for
fucking
George,
knew it.
please. Just
genuinely,
Brag about George.
genuinely. So
Oh.
George used to have like classical training
No.
singing an opera, and is an amazing fucking singer. And he, Sentry says can confirm because you've been in the car, and also been to karaoke night in my Discord. So if you've
Nice.
been there, you've heard him sing. But he, for one, I say screams, you don't say screams, but you do the thing, and which
Ooh.
that's
I say
also
screams.
that's also great. And you sing so good.
so
good.
So good.
So good.
If I sing so good, what's my go-to karaoke song?
Something
What is it then?
by it is usually a cover by Sleep Token, and it is the song that is a cover by Sleep Token. Hold on.
Ah, yes, the song.
I
That
thought
was
we
a
were
cover
playing
by
AMA,
Sleep
now
Token.
it's the couples game where they have to prove they know each other.
I love it.
Sorry.
Hero and I are the judges.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's taken a while to come up with
It is-
that answer,
it is
Jen.
not-
I love seeing chat's answers. I see a lithium, Adele. Is it an Adele song?
It's an Adele
It's
song.
not an Adele song.
Yes, please.
But Hero, what's yours? Why we?
So, yeah, so I don't have a go-to karaoke song. I have literally never sang karaoke. So that is a confession.
All right. So when Hero comes to TwitchCon and I'm in San Diego, we're finding a karaoke spot and we're
fuck
gonna
yeah.
document.
Oh,
We're gonna
yeah.
have a vlog that is like
You.
Feywild goes out and
We
Hero
are-
Oh my
karaoke.
god, I love
For the
that.
first time.
That'd be really fun.
I mean,
Karaoke is
Away
fun.
from the best karaoke spot that is so clean and so cheap and so nice because it's like people don't actually live around that area. It's just a food area.
And if you're
So-
nervous to do karaoke, I actually really enjoy one of our friend Lavender Apple. He says that, you know, in Japan, karaoke is about entertainment.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
not about being good. It's about having fun. And as long as
100%.
you're vibing and hanging out and having fun, you can wail in our ears all you want, Jen.
I'll sing something with you if it'll make you feel better.
It might.
True.
Honestly, it might. I may need the assistance, but
Please.
yeah.
The
Just
High
because-
School Musical, Troy, and What's Her Face song at the
Man.
beginning.
I love Love is an Open Door. That one's also a really good duo song. And then
You
when-
guys are getting put into couple songs.
I know, right?
what- yeah,
We'll
but
come
there's
up with
also
something.
like
We'll
the
talk.
I don't
We'll
know.
come up with something.
a good one to make people feel better about themselves that I do because then people are just like, oh, so you're a musical theater kid, you're gonna sing all the theater songs and do really well. I'm like, no, screw you, I'm singing
I
Meg the
would do
Stallion
well, but
and do
Megan Stallion.
and then breathe because Megan the Stallion has amazing breath control and I wasn't expecting that.
Mhm.
So because when you're saying yada 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 so many times,
Yada, 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 yada.
like there are
So
no,
good.
no expectations after that, so it's great. We'll
So let me
do it.
scroll up
So-
to so it's a question from Red Dead Ginger.
Mhm.
My
said-
go-to is typically Jack's Lament, by the way.
Oh right, from
Oh.
Nightmare
Don't-
Before Christmas.
Don't
I knew
get
that.
me
Oof, we
stoned.
love that.
You
That's what I wrote
unlocked
down.
hyper-
That's what I wrote down on my
I wrote it
my
down.
little couples
Judges?
board.
Judges?
Judges.
Judges?
You've unlocked a hyperfixation, but we gotta.
You
we gotta
strike
talk
me as the Nightmare Before Christmas girl in high school.
I was.
Yes.
Yo, let's talk about. I had the pop-up book as a kid. I loved Nightmare Before Christmas. It's good stuff.
Movie night,
The
like
Amy Lee cover of
Yes.
Sally's song
so good. I love it.
and the Flyleaf cover of What's This. So yeah.
This is, man,
So,
now I just want,
Gingy,
just want to sing Nightmare
Back to
Before
D&D.
Christmas.
Yeah,
All
back to
right.
D&D because I
Back
can
to
talk about this a
D&D.
lot.
I know. Gingy said, have any of you guys ever encountered that guy? And I asked him to elaborate. He said, dice fudgers, people with main character syndrome, people who complain about the DMs DMing, etc. And I have a story
Yes.
specifically, but I want you guys to talk first.
I have 2 examples, so I will also go right before Jen, but not first.
Okay.
I have experienced all of those things. All of
Damn.
them.
Oh wow.
Is that all at the
Not
same
from the
table, or
same
just is this like?
Oh, I was like...
Dice fudgers, yeah. One of the people who I kind of like grew up with is a notorious dice fudger. Because he needs to win everything.
You can't win
Yeah.
D&D, and that's the thing, right? Like,
But
Yeah.
have you tried?
well, you're right. I haven't tried hard enough, but
You're right. Right.
Main character syndrome. Oh yeah. From like most of the tables that I like sat at prior to me finding my forever DM.
sorry. Welcome
Who
in,
I-
Raiders.
I
don't mean to interrupt you.
Hi, Raiders! Welcome in, Sir Buddington.
Welcome in.
Hello.
Welcome,
Whoa,
welcome.
how are you? What were you doing?
Hi, bud. What were you playing? What were you doing? Welcome in, friends.
I had a table of like min-maxers who had main character syndrome, so that was a little bit rough. And I have had people at my table while I'm DMing complaining about the way that I DM or telling me how things will work in my world. And I said, no. No. First of all, you're wrong about bears. I've had so many arguments about bears in particular at the D&D table, and I don't know why. Polar bears are not the largest bear, and anyone who says that does not know what they're talking about and has never heard of the Kodiak bear.
Okay. Oh, yeah. The Kodiak bear and the polar bear are they're highly contested though between the two, right? Like,
no,
my understanding was there were like two different schools of thought on the largest bear.
No.
All right.
There's only one school of thought.
It's the correct one. It's the Kodiak bear.
And you have disadvantage. Yes.
Wow.
I've experienced all of those things. Yeah.
That's a lot.
The last one that I'm expressing was at a table where I lost at least 7 characters, so.
Ooh.
The DM, we call them toxic DM. Killed all your people, and it's very sad. And that's not how you DM. I talk about it on my podcast, by the way.
I hate it. The adversarial DMing, I've encountered the adversarial DMing before. And that's not fun. It's like, I just don't like that style of play, you know, and for some people maybe that's all right. But you know, my perception of a DM is somebody who's having fun and facilitating the adventure and story, and you know, not trying to beat the players. And so it just doesn't mesh well with me.
DMs should be players too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
100%.
And if playing is killing your players, then you should give them a one shot in which you killed them at the end.
So as everybody's aware that that's, you know, that's what you're doing. Then,
that's the goal, right?
Yeah.
And they are aware of that happening.
I haven't ran into too much of that, but I have played a number of Adventurers League games when I was in between campaigns. And I feel like that's where I ran into the most trouble, because it was just people randomly getting together. You don't really have any control of who's in your group or not. And so I feel like I ran into more problematic players in that, people who fudged dice rolls like very clearly and then had to be like gently warned, like, hey, you know, if you roll it, that's okay. If it landed wrong, that's fine, but just, you know, pay attention to what you're rolling and don't do it. And people picking apart how games should be ran. I've worried that I'm that player before, because, like, you know, I know a lot of the rules, and I'll be like, hey, is that, like, if you haven't talked about a situation, like, at the end of the day, the DM makes the rules, but if there's a situation and I think it works this way, which is why I'm doing some kind of action or whatever, and that's not the case, then I try to mention it, but I always try to mention it in a way that isn't like rules lawyery, because I know it's such a negative connotation to it. Yeah,
what I always say, like, when someone has a qualm with the rule, wait till after the game.
Sure.
Talk to me about what happened, and then I will either explain why I did it the way I did it, or say you were right and do it differently going forward. Yeah. So it's just like, if it's gonna be like a 20-minute, like, let's open the book and read the rules.
I hate that.
Because
I do not.
I'm like, oh, I'm so done playing right now.
My games I've had those games that have just taken out, like, especially with combat, where it's just like, it'll just take, you know, forever to get through a single round.
Sparrow's in chat.
Hello, Sparrow.
Feel free to hop into the video call and the voice chat whenever you're ready, by the way.
Yeah.
Maybe we could just pop you in. Is that a thing? Yeah.
We'll pop you in. I'll have to do some edits on the camera size, but, you know, it'll be good.
Yeah, we'll do that.
What about you, Jade?
Yeah, I've had 2 different scenarios. Both were really cringe and from the same From the same campaign, actually. So one was a person who, like, you know, everyone like has the opportunity to have an edgy character, you know. But this person was the exact edgy character that people like meme about, that like doesn't actually want to go with the group.
No.
So like always is like brooding, etc., etc. Obvious anime reference, but like not in a way that was discussed with the DM first. So it's just like, and then like, there's a lot of things where we're like, okay, we're running Curse of Strahd at this point, and it was like, you know, fine. It was a time in which we were just, you know, vibing with people, having like a festival, and they're like, hey, you want, like, our character, the rest of the character is like, hey, do you want to join the festivities? It was like, no, and my character goes and sits over with his sword. And we're like, come on, bruh. Come on, we're gonna do stuff. Or like he chose to like split off with the party when we're about to go like beat somebody up, and we're just like, we need you to do your thing. And then the other time is when that person left the party, there was another person who was like, okay, I guess it's my time to do that. And they did a similar thing, and then they about min-maxing, and they wanted to change their character, so they purposely did something stupid to get killed instead of asking to be written off.
Yeah.
They're just like, I run at the dragon. And we're like, what's going on? He just wanted to have a different character, but like, you can just ask to have a different character.
Right.
You don't have to like do that. And then because we were all like freaking out, and other people almost died trying to save this person.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, and then after that, they did their character, which was super duper min-max to the point where it wasn't even fun.
Yeah.
But our DM is a very, very like caring person and mostly rule of cool, so they allowed most of it because they wanted the person to have fun. But at the end, the person was like, I don't even want to play. I would actually like to be the DM now. Like, basically, like, hand it over.
I've done everything I want to do.
I'm in the bag.
No.
Pretty much. He was like, what if I could be like the second DM that like does all the math stuff and whatnot? And we're just like, bro,
The math stuff.
because
You want to be a teacher's assistant?
They're just like, I would handle like
I've
all the
graded your
stats,
rules,
like and all the rules, the rules and stuff like that. And it's just like,
No.
what do I do? But at that point, he at least realized that what he was looking for was not Dungeons and Dragons. So they left voluntarily after we talked about it, and now we're all okay. But it was just a very, very weird experience because we're just like, what is going on? What do you mean? Because of course there's second DM like campaigns, but usually it's like something not like you storytell and I just will roll dice and make sure that people die because I'm gonna do everything by the rules. He even asked for like all spell components to be a thing still like mid campaign. And I was like, that's cool.
You guys mind if I bring my briefcase to be this much of a rules lawyer? Or
I actually brought some notes on the matter.
Yeah. It was like,
Here's
you don't
my
have a mirror.
in
Past
subsection
that
D,
spell.
Jeremy Crawford actually said.
Yes.
Yeah, it was just like,
love
because I was being vocal, it's like, I do not want to like have these focus on me. If it was the beginner campaign, then yeah, my character would probably grab the things for the spells that she uses, but like, we're in the middle of the frickin' Barovia. I don't know where the frick I am.
Yeah.
How am I supposed to grab like these things to cast the spells?
Right. No, that's so
yeah.
stressful.
But yeah.
Do you have more? Sorry, I said but I didn't like have anything to say
Assistant
after
to the
that.
regional DM.
I love it.
It's true.
like a little principal plaque that's like assistant to the DM.
Yeah.
Like, oh man.
So-
And they wear it like they're the real DM because assistant
Because
principals
the real
be
DM
like
is like
that.
super. He's like he's the person that's like the friend that you have to be like, you gotta stand up for yourself, bud. Like you really gotta. So that was like, you're trying.
Yeah.
We were trying so hard to be civil.
My experience with like the main character syndrome was when I was a DM for a group. All of them were men, cis white men, which is perfectly fine. But
Thank you.
But
You're welcome.
But it is
But-
an important key element
Sure.
of the story.
Yeah.
It's a key element of the dynamic that they attempted to force onto me as the DM quite often. And a lot of it is trying to essentially bully me into letting them do what they want to do. So I had to like stand my ground a lot against people trying to tell me how the rules work and things like that. And I'm like, nah, bitch, listen here. So one time I was actually rude, and I would say it's justified. I hate being rude to anybody though, but so
I'll be rude. I'll
I
be
love being rude.
designated.
Yeah, let me
You know
out.
that segment in which it's just like the anger translator? I will be your rude translator for like the femme rude translator, and then George can be the mask rude translator.
I need this in my life. A very specific incident was I had the price of an item that I had given to the player and promptly forgot that several sessions later. But I gave them the price of it. They put it on their sheet. And then they were trying to, excuse me, babop. Excuse me, babop.
You're talking.
Thank you. Sorry.
Let me have the fun.
Okay, sorry. I'll unban them so you can ban them. Okay, sorry.
All right. Thank you.
I gave them the price, and several sessions later, he tried to sell this thing. And he mentioned a price that was super high, and I felt weird about it. But I was like, is that the price I gave him? I don't remember. So I was rolling with it. And then at the end, I was like, okay, roll a deception check. And he was like, well, I'm not lying. And I was like, yeah, you were. And so he argued with me over rules and how I set the price. And I just said, I was like, conversation's over, dude. And I just moved on to the rest of the game. And he sat there actually pouting for like 15 minutes. He was like on his phone, like aggressively tight. Like it was ridiculous. He was causing a little scene in his corner. Like he was so upset that I was like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, seriously.
Let's move on. Roll your shit and let's go. But
That's
Try
so
That was
better
the one
wife
time.
my drywall, Kyle.
right. Don't give that man a monster.
He will pop off.
So it's
but
so funny.
that same
Sorry.
person, I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead. It's your story.
That same person was every time that we had anything, they were what is a little bit referred to as the face of the party, but not so much in a main character syndrome standpoint. They forced themselves to be the person talking in every scene. So everyone was their backstory. Everyone was their back sidekick. Everyone was following their story, and he was pulling them into his quests. And it was like all of his companions. That's the word I was trying to think of.
Sure.
And it was tiring for people who were playing, so they all just smoked more weed.
Nice. Solution found.
Background character, extras. Yes, thank you, Gothic.
That's something I legit worry about sometimes, like, because I never want to, like, in playing with a group of people, I don't want to, like, step on anybody's toes, and sometimes it's hard, especially playing online and stuff, like talking over people or otherwise, because everybody needs a chance to shine.
I heard a ba-doom. Hi, Sparrow.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
Are you
Hello.
with us in picture?
I think
Yes.
so.
Yeah.
I
You're also
see a
double-voiced.
wild
I'm gonna do some
sparrow.
editing. Give me one moment.
If you click the microphone button, it'll mute you in the special secret
You did.
producer stuff.
Secret
He's-
producer.
I'm kidding. It's just OBS Ninja.
Secret producer stuff.
Super secret.
Welcome in,
Hello.
Sparrow.
I heard we were telling stories about bad D&D experiences.
We
Yes.
are. I mean,
Yeah.
kinda, yeah.
Kinda.
It started off as like, have
People
you
be
ever
wild.
experienced a person who like fudged rolls or like had main
Had main
character
character
syndrome or things like that?
I am so terrified of having main character syndrome.
Dude, yeah. It's a real
I think-
fear.
Yeah, like it's like I like I remember saying this to almost all of the DMs that I've had is like, I do not want to be like the main focus for any longer than like 10 minutes accumulatively. Like,
Yeah.
I don't like, if we get past that point, I no longer like, I just have my character eating chips in the background or something. Like, don't focus. That's just, I don't know. It's just, it's just a fear of feeling like I'm taking over.
Yeah.
The fun times, you know? So
We
that's-
share and pass the energy. Everyone shares the spotlight.
Like, that's
Yeah,
what's good
whatever
about this
whatever
group.
acting terms you want to use.
Pass the mic. I think this group does
Yes,
a really
and.
good job at like acknowledging when they're talking a little bit too much, and they pass it to someone else, either by like, "What do you think?" or actually saying like, "Oh, I look at them for affirmation" or something. Like, I think that's something that this group does really well, so that everyone gets to talk at least a little bit.
Yeah.
yeah.
So I like that.
Never even liked main characters in things. Like, usually I like the side characters. So I feel like I play characters who don't fit that. I don't know.
Nomi just
that-
said a great thing.
Hmm.
You guys are all supporting roles and the main characters, the motherfucking story. Love that.
Ooh.
It's like the Avengers movies. Yeah.
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 Can I be Thor?
Mhm.
Sure.
Can I be Fat
Oh.
Thor?
You could be whatever you want to
Yes.
be.
Could be
It-
any type of Thor.
It's an interesting dichotomy because it's like you don't want to be like the one that ends up hogging things,
Mm-hmm.
but you also don't want to be like so background that people are just like, well,
Mm-hmm.
do you exist? Do
Why are
Yeah.
you
care?
here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard.
So it's been a
home
very
life okay?
interesting. Sorry, say again.
Oh, I said, is your home life okay? Hanging out with adventurers.
Yeah. Does your,
But I wonder how much it's
Hey,
actually a
is your-
problem. You know,
does your patron know that you're here?
is there somebody we could call or? But like, because I feel like with us, I feel like at least it's probably a problem more so in our own heads than anything else, because we're at least conscious of that and wanting to share the spotlight with everybody, and you know, it's hard to. I think maybe if those weren't thoughts, it would be more prevalent, but I think because we're aware of it, I don't know if it's an actual issue.
Yeah. I think the issue comes in is when someone doesn't know or doesn't acknowledge it or refuses to acknowledge it.
Sure.
Also, hard segue, who is everyone's favorite Avenger / Marvel hero?
You've unlocked another hyperfixation. Do you want MCU or all of Marvel comics?
Let's do MCU. Things that have been in movies. That's there it narrows it
MCU.
down.
You want current characters or characters that are gonna come?
Things that have been
Yeah,
in movies
any
so
of
far.
them. Tell us all
And
of them.
shows.
Fine.
And shows. Naruto says Sir Bunnington.
I mean, I love Naruto so much.
We got Spider-Man, we got Captain America in chat.
No
Spider-Man's cool.
fighter said I was Gamora vibes. That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me. I also cosplayed Gamora before too, so that's funny.
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
it looks so good.
Yeah.
Thank you. This is a hard question.
Yeah, I'm struggling with this too because I'm like, but I have this movie that is like one of my favorites, but that's not necessarily my favorite character. And
I feel like
and I love this
scientists-
actor, so I just
I know
love this
mine.
movie.
What's yours, Jen?
my favorite superhero in general is Spider-Man.
Spider-Man's great.
And the new one with like the new actor, Tom Holland?
Yeah.
Is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's wonderful.
You like
so
him?
good.
Who's your
Yeah.
favorite out of the Spider-Man movies that have come out? Who's your favorite?
Garfield.
Yeah.
Hot take.
Wow, hot take.
I know.
We get it. You guys like skater boys in high school.
He's cute.
He
We
is a
get it.
skater boy. I mean, like I said, I framed a Evanescence guitar pick in my
I mean,
room. Of course,
yeah, no,
Say no more.
it's all falling together.
it's all
Making
coming
it
together.
booty.
I do like the new, like the three. Is it three? There's three. The three new movies the most. for Spider-Man
Okay, yeah.
specifically. But I do
love
like
Tom
Garfield.
Holland.
I think he did a killer job. I would say my favorite MCU character currently, probably Vision. I love Vision. I love Spider-Man too. That's another good choice, but I think WandaVision had its flaws, but Vision just came out being like my fucking favorite.
Jade is deep in thought, and it's cracking me
It's
up.
so hard.
We'll get around.
I'll give you a glimpse into my thought process. So usually it used to be Bucky, but Bucky was a little bit sus in Falcon and Winter Soldier, where he's just like, yeah, it's cool if you murder somebody and now you're using the shield. Go help out Sam. And also he had like and he was just like, fuck you, Sam. But like it wasn't even like the like, you know, like casual, like, you know, friendly fuck you. It was like actually mean, and I was like, that's weird, but that we'll blame that on the writers. And then I was like, I like Shuri, but I'm not really sure how that's gonna go because
You're
the
not
actress,
Shuri.
I'm not Shuri because the actor is an anti-vaxxer who had to be forcibly was like, yo, either you're out of Marvel or you get vaxxed. And for a while she's like, I won't get vaxxed, and then she finally said yes. So she's not, I would say like my all-time favorite, but I do like Valkyrie for reasons. Yeah, and I really like her outfit for Love and Thunder just got leaked, and it's really cool. So,
Hell yeah.
check it out.
What about you,
And
Hero?
then it'll change, but it will change because the person I love the most, She-Hulk, is getting a Disney Plus series. So when that comes out,
Hell yeah.
I'm sorry, it you know how like men felt with the Joker, like this is my Joker.
Nice.
The TikTok thing. I know that most men are probably like, what the fuck was Joker? But you know, it's a TikTok audio. I must put that there. She-Hulk's like,
I got you.
good shit.
Yes, agreed.
Shoot. Yeah,
about
She-Hulk is beautiful, and I love She-Hulk, and she's fantastic. Yeah, for me, I do love Spider-Man. I feel like he's up there as far like outside of Marvel movies.
We
just
had one category.
But like in the Marvel
Everyone is
universe,
going, like,
Spider-Man
Marvel
is so cool. It's great. I mean, he's you know the nerdy kid that becomes a hero. It's so awesome.
Yeah.
And god damn is he strong too, which is super cool.
He's pulling his punches.
Isn't he the strongest one? He's the strongest Avenger, right? Like
He's
scientifically.
up
Yeah, he's very much
can
up there.
surpass his strength levels depending on whether or not Hulk is in the Avengers. It's a long conversation.
sure.
And
His strength is exponential because it grows about how angry he is.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I'll give context about why I care so much. When I was younger, in like the 3rd grade, I had no friends, but my dad bought me this thick Marvel encyclopedia that had like the different power levels, and then
I know the book. I know the book.
Yeah, and it also explained like what those power levels meant. So if you had a 3 on strength, that means that you could have like lift over like 10 tons, and if you had a 5 in strength, it was like unmeasurable. So I have a lot of knowledge in my brain about it because I had
I love it.
I mean, I have friends now, but at the time,
I have friends now.
So the encyclopedia's out.
I still have the encyclopedia, but
yeah, it's actually in my closet right now.
oh, nice.
Yeah.
I love that. I love it. I mean, we've already talked. I was such a nerd just reading through like monster manuals of D&D as a kid. So it was like, I get it. I get it so
Yeah,
much.
I think I had a Pathfinder book, but I also didn't know that you had to play with other people, and I was like, how it's gonna work? I didn't say
How does
fuck
that
because
work?
I was like 11 and
That's
wasn't
fair.
allowed to say that. But I was just like, this looks cool. The same thing with the Marvel RP book that they had, the really thin one that had like you can play as Marvel characters. I also didn't understand that you had to play that with other people, and I was just like, this is cool, but I don't know how it works. So
Mhm.
So yours is She-Hulk. Mine is
Yes.
Spider-Man. Here's a
Spider-Man's amazing. But out of the movies, I do love.
I'm kidding.
Star-Lord is pretty amazing. I like, so if I had to like top 3, Star-Lord, Tony Stark, and Bruce Banner, like they're my favorites.
They are good ones.
But I aspire to be as confident as Star-Lord. So
That's fair.
whenever I need to channel some energy, I'll pull it from there. What about you,
George?
George?
Ivor.
Spurgeorge?
Spurge?
I already answered.
Yeah.
I said vision.
Vision?
Oh,
So
shit,
Vision is
Vision.
okay. Vision.
Right. I forgot.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I could have a whole conversation about my favorite movies, but that would be unrelated.
Yeah.
That's
We
fair.
can make a tier list and put it on the Patreon.
We could.
That's true.
Sparrow, who's your favorite Marvel
T'Challa.
superhero? Who?
T'Challa,
Yeah,
easy.
that's a
Yeah,
top.
yeah.
That's
Hell
a
yeah.
top
Hell yeah.
five is easily. Especially when they read the Star-Lord T'Challa, I'm just like, this man is so perfect. He talks
Oh man, that
Thanos
was
out of
that was
Dolan.
the Visions, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
That was so I
what
liked
if.
that episode, I think. Maybe
And-
did I like
Yeah.
that? I liked that
yeah,
episode.
He's just so pure of heart that even Thanos is like, you know what? You're right, dude. Like,
No, you're onto something.
talk about main character energy.
Yeah.
Whoops. Well, that's it for me. Gotta go. Bye.
Yeah.
Well,
We do have some more from. I guess I'm trying to go in order. Is there one question before Red Dead Ginger's question about?
I don't think so.
Loving in D&D, because I saw more after, but let's go. So
scroll.
this question is: what was the experience or moment that made you fall in love with D&D? And we'll have Sparrow go first.
Well, this one's actually pretty easy because, and it's also the most, it's gonna sound like the most bullshit, but like, getting to start Fate's Fortune with y'all, because I was pretty close to just writing D&D off as a thing that I wasn't interested in.
Yeah.
Because of previous experiences. Like I had one experience where it was like, all right, but then we took like a way too long break, and so I wasn't emotionally invested in the character anymore. And then I had one experience where the DM was just so sticklery about the rules that like kind of like Jade, your situation, somebody just like, they didn't do it like because they were just like being an asshole, but they were just like, haha, I'm a fun dumb character, I'm gonna like go into this poison dragon and just like tap it on the nose and be like, what up, bro? And so my character ended up getting killed in the crossfire, like double damage killed, and he was just like, yeah, there's nobody around to save your character. And I was like,
yeah.
so I'm dead because of someone else's dumb decision, and you're just not gonna let me. He's like, yeah, you can re-roll a character next week or whatever, bye. And I was like,
Aw.
I think I would rather just stop playing.
Yeah, what a hell of an experience, you know? That's
And so
awful.
Yeah.
when we talked, like when we were talking about Fate's Fortune, honestly, I was like, listen, I'm really skittish about this whole situation because I don't want to not have fun doing this. But fortunately enough, it was fun, and so that brought me back into it. And so just like getting between, and I'm gonna say the person's name because I do want to give them credit, between Nolan and Pond, like, and Jen now. I feel like I'm maybe having a little bit of main character energy because I've been throwing them shit and being like, this is what I planned for this character, and then they can maybe do this in the background, and then this could be like a, you know, like, and even bless Pond's heart, they have been very nice about like letting me just like have cards close to the vest with some of these characters.
That's cool though.
Yeah.
Like, I'm talking way too long, but
No, you're
No,
good.
you're not.
You're good.
the character for season 2 is not really going to have a whole lot of stuff in terms of like secrets, and like you're gonna get to know her pretty quickly. But like Lenosa is definitely like a character that I was just like, no, I want shit to be like revealed later and be like, oh, not a main character, but like still has important shit that's going on.
Yeah.
So yeah, honestly, playing with the people that are in windows that you're looking at right now is my answer.
Aw.
Long-winded, but
Aw.
true.
No,
That
I
makes
love
me
it.
so happy.
No,
I'm
it's so
really, really
good.
happy because I
Yeah.
remember when we first started playing, you were talking about how like you were like, well, you know, like I'm not sure and I want to try it because I like you, Jen. And I was like, I'm so happy you did because now we're telling amazing stories on the internet together.
True. It's true.
Then you let me on your podcast. word vomited about D&D all over the place.
Oh,
and it was
don't
great.
worry. We're probably gonna bring you back. I just need to think of a good. I just need to think of good topics for all of y'all, and then you'll be there. So like, don't feel offended that I haven't asked you yet. I just don't know what the fuck to ask you to come on and talk about. But it'll happen.
Be there anytime, any day to talk about anything.
Hell yeah.
I can talk so much. It's like a special skill. But I'm an introvert, but I can talk. That's my superpower.
Love that.
I
skill.
feel that so much. I always say I'm like a charismatic introvert. Like I can talk to
Sure
people.
fake it.
I just
Don't wanna.
yeah, I just rather be at home. Like,
Yeah. I feel that way now. I feel like
Yeah?
I was before we talk more about why we fell in love with D&D. I feel like I was that individual who was always out, always doing things, hosting parties, doing all sorts of stuff, and constantly friends with literally everybody. And I feel like I still am, but I don't go out anymore. And that's COVID's fault, truly. But I feel like even like with George, like we went out with some friends in California before we moved, and they were like, let's move to the next place. And like normally I'd be like, hell yeah, let's go. I'll never go home. And I was like, I want to go home. I'll meet you there. And he was just like, okay.
yeah.
Yeah, it was super strange. I was like, did something happen? Extrovert
No, I was-
girlfriend wants to go
Okay.
home. Introvert boyfriend wants to keep going.
I felt like a weird shift. I do still like to go outside and stuff and do things, but I'm not nearly as like party as I was before.
Yeah.
What made you fall in love with D&D, Hero?
I mean, honestly, I fell in love with it when I first encountered it. Like it was so wild. I was at my grandparents' house, and I was in a closet for some reason, and I dug out like this old red box, like the classic AD&D box set. That was like my uncle's from growing up, and I just like busted through it. There was like a choose your own adventure style, like one player adventure that you could just run yourself. And I took that home and just like ran through it like multiple times, and then just like read it cover to cover. And I was so into it. And then, I learned there were newer editions and books, and I read up on those, and I just instantly just loved it. It was super cool. So yeah,
That is super cool.
just loved it ever
I've
since.
never done a solo adventure. I tried to do a duet game with George, run a game where only he was the player, and I kind of lost momentum on that. But
But that sounds
Played
super
one whole
cool,
game.
though.
we played one whole game. It was fun.
Yeah, I've heard of people like Matt Colville. He talked about running a single player adventure and kind of went through it, the whole thing. And I was like, that's such a cool way to bring a character into the story, because there was a group that they were playing with. But yeah, that was like the introduction. They had their own little solo, and I thought that was super fun.
My DM over at Questfall, Aaron, does solo games for like certain situations. Like if a character just goes off and needs to do their own thing, like he'll just run the whole thing. Or when we like got some of our like magic items, like he would have us like do a whole adventure for that. Like it can be some of the coolest things in my opinion. And if I had that box set, I would have done the same fucking thing as you, Hero.
Nice.
Ran it back and forth and
Yep.
expended like every possibility in that book.
I did.
Did Aaron make you fall in love, or did something else make you fall in love with
I
D&D?
always loved it, like from the moment that I tried it. But I like looking back, like there was no way that I wasn't going to love it. I've
Yeah.
always enjoyed like talking in character voices. Like I was always running through like scenarios, and like I was one of the play with your imagination kids with your friends, because we're all broke kids, and we don't. One kid has like a PlayStation 1, and you can't, like, parents want the living room TV, so go outside, go fuck off, go do things,
Yes.
go be kids, come back before the streetlights are on. And we would go outside and we would pick up sticks, and sometimes we would hit each other with it, sometimes we would get yelled at for that, so we didn't do that. So like I was always running through some kind of like imagination game prior to D&D. So I was always prepping myself to play it. And then once I sat at a table, I was just like, this is right. This is correct. This is what I want to do. Like I as like a small baby child, I like when my dad would like read stories, if he didn't do it with voices, like I'd be like, all right, we need to get serious about this. Do it again.
You have to get in character.
Chop chop.
Come on. And then
So
like
funny.
it was always bound to happen. So when I sat down at a table, there was like I went to Role Players Anonymous at my high school in 9th grade, which was the tabletop club.
That's so cool.
And I sat down at the table with 2 of my teachers and several of the students there. We had the brooding, edgy rogue who was too good to be there. There was the orc who was kind of dumb, who was confused by every situation. I think he was a barbarian, and that was my science teacher. Another teacher was DMing. I literally do not remember any other character. I played a sorcerer, and I got stuck in in just some random fucking slime, and my DM was nice enough to where my character only lost a hand and didn't die, even though I did something extremely foolish. And I was just like, yes! I'm like going home and I'm thinking about it and I'm talking with my friend about it like all the fucking time, and it was just it's always been like what I wanted to do since I did it. Like
That's
I
so
played
cool.
like over half my life ago, and I just have always thought about it every week, probably every day since I've played. I'm like, I don't think a day has passed where I have not thought about D&D, like the games that I've played and the games that I will play.
Yeah.
And it's I love it here.
Yeah.
You guys
It's so
can't-
awesome.
You can't take me away. Not from the game. I love it.
Aw.
Jade, what made you fall in love with D&D?
I guess it was like 2 things. So I've always had like a casual interest in it, just being like a kind of like the nerd space in general and wanting to like indulge in other nerd activities. Like I would go to cons a lot for cosplay, and I would be the one who's like, oh, there's like Dungeons and Dragons, there's Adventures League and things like that, and like we should go to those. And then my friends were kind of like, whatever, in high school. And then I finally get to college, and that's when I started first playing characters, and just playing D&D in general.
Mhm.
And then I think it was, I'm gonna say like my 3rd year in college, I got asked to be a it was 3rd year because that's when COVID started. Or no, that was freshman year. Or not freshman year, senior year. Anyways, it was right before COVID started. I started doing a mini series over on Mercs of Mischief. So I recommend following them. They're amazing people, and I also probably will be on there again. Not during the same time Feywild now. I'm not leaving Feywild now. It'll just be like a secondary campaign in like September. But I played a mini campaign with them, and that was when we first like streamed. Like we were talking about all of our characters and all our things, and it was a great I would say environment for someone who is starting out, because the whole concept was kind of like Fire Emblem 3 Houses. Like we're
nice.
learning how to be adventurers. So there was teachers from the main campaign. They were the teachers, the people that were like level like 15 or so, teaching like these people who are about to hit level 1.
Yeah.
So that was really nice to talk about that. Just have like this basically just good learning environment about playing with other people and having a story in mind. And that kind of like, I guess what because I always liked D&D, but falling in love with D&D was a process that happened during that time where I fell so deep into character, because my character was like the mama bear, literally a circle of moon druid, and that's why Mindari always memes about me being a moon druid, because I played a lot of moon druid at the time, who legit started crying, like for real, like not the crying on command, but like I started crying because one of my like people that I was in charge of, because I got promoted to TA and this weird universe got like injured, and that was a moment where I was like, oh, this is actually affecting my emotions, and like damn, like this is something that I really, really, really care about, and yeah, it just grew from there. I honest, actually at that time I was like, skirt, and made my entire thesis for like to graduate about how much D&D can be a therapeutic tool.
Wow.
Especially for marginalized identities, because of not only having those like empathetic relationships, but also having the opportunity to choose whatever role you are. Because of course in society we have all these expectations, there's racial tropes, there's like homophobia, all the isms and phobias and preconceived notions. But in D&D, ideally with a great game master or any tabletop, for example, you have the option to explore things that you would not otherwise would be able to do so. And so at that point in time when I was like, okay, I'm literally writing like a 20-page paper on D&D, I think I like it. But yeah, but that paper made actually like put into words one of the biggest feels and one of the biggest appeals of D&D to me. And since then, it's been about building on top of like being able to explore those different identities and explore different emotions that I wouldn't be able to, explore otherwise, because I'm not really an angry person. But there is that stereotype of angry Black women. But can I play an angry character in D&D? Yeah, and like no one's gonna be like, oh, that's a stereotype, because like it's just a character. So, realizing all of the benefits and then adding on to those with things like Feywild and Out, where we're now even more roleplay heavy. We're now even weaving like a whole homebrew backstory into like character backstories, and basically just building on what I already liked in the building blocks. So I continue to fall in more, just a little bit every day. With that. I
love that. For me, D&D has always scratched a creative itch that I had. I do a lot of drawing. I haven't drawn a lot in the past year or two. I do a lot of art. I did video editing. I've gone through all sorts of avenues and have always felt happiest when doing something in the creative aspect. And D&D hits literally every note. It hits creative writing, drawing, character creation, backstory writing, like storytelling and miniature painting. It hits everything, and it has been one of the things that has always hit every aspect of my creative needs at one time, so I always go back to it. And I actually didn't always love D&D. There was a period of time where my group that I played with, they like didn't care about like the effort that I was putting in. It was like, we've been playing for like 2 years, and the effort started to become like work. So I stopped playing for like 2 or 3 years. Then I picked it back up, and my obsession with school supplies really doesn't help because I will just buy all the things for D&D. And I really like DMing more than playing. I've said that a lot. Because that is where specifically that creative itch gets scratched. Just playing a character is great, and I love doing it, but I like the ruling of the world part.
Yeah. Sounds a lot more maniacal than I expected
I love
it to.
that feel for you. I really do. I think we have 2 questions that I guess one that George and Jen already answered in chat, but we'll do a rapid fire for that one, and then there's another one right after that. So first, what is your Hogwarts house, if you haven't answered already? And then second, what was your first character, if you remember, or the first character that you could remember if you're like, I can't remember? Because I mean, George is in the trenches at a young age.
Deep in the thick of it.
Into the
Slytherin here.
Woo! Slytherin gang.
Slytherin,
Okay.
what's up?
The 3.
Ravenclaw.
Yeah, Ravenclaw.
Slytherin, Ravenclaw
Valid.
in a question mark.
That's fair. I always
know.
end up
don't know.
50-50 between
I give Sparrow Ravenclaw. Honorary Ravenclaw
Honorary
vibes.
Because
Ravenclaw?
birds?
Ravenclaw. I
Because
mean,
birds.
No, not technically, because
bonus question.
analytical
do you know your,
and thoughtful and
Creative.
Do you know your
creative.
Ivermony? There's so
Oh my
many like
God,
those
yeah.
those quizzes. I'm a snake apparently.
Snake.
A Slytherin horned serpent.
I don't know which
Oh,
one.
Which
I'm a
the
Saint
horn
Bernard.
Buckle.
There's like a Thunderbird. There's a Wumpus. Yeah, but it's whatever. We probably shouldn't give her any attention.
We don't care about her. She's
But
awesome.
it's a cool concept. I wish somebody else did it.
True.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
George and I
My-
literally had this
F in the chat.
conversation the other day.
We covered a lot of ground the other day.
It's true.
So we could end up talking about so many things that we talked about the other
in
day.
the chat.
And our first character that we ever played.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Jen can go first.
Okay.
Yeah, because
I
you spoke
played-
first.
A human cleric.
Wow.
Nice, nice.
Life domain.
Wow. No, it's okay. It's okay. This is a safe space for the.
It's a
I
safe, this is a safe
played-
space. It's okay.
I played characters that fit into the expected category before
Sure.
branching out into other things. I would play orc barbarians. I would never play a paladin, but Aasimar paladins. Those they're made to be
Yeah.
together. Like half elf bard, like things that are just stereotypically.
Paired.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. My globes didn't work. You know, just whoop, 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 whoop.
Come,
Yeah.
Patsy.
Yeah, so I played a human life cleric, and I was the healer for my brother's group.
Did you want that? Sorry, did you want that, or was that
No,
like
they needed
yeah,
a healer.
Okay. That's what I thought.
Oof.
They needed a healer.
Come,
I was the
health battery.
Yep, I was the healer for my brother's party that my dad was DMing. So I was the like 7th grader hanging out with seniors in high school, like, I'll heal you, because my mom said that they had to hang out with me. You know how it goes. That's the
sorry,
first
it's not
character I
funny,
ever
but
played.
it
It's funny. You can
Only
laugh.
child. I have never experienced that in my life.
As the older brother,
I have several siblings you can have, Jade, if you want.
I have step-siblings, and I'm just like, I literally don't know who you are.
Yeah.
I mean, I do know who they are now, but like at the time when my dad and their mom got married, I was like, "What's your like?" So I really don't. Yeah.
yeah.
Woof. I guess I can go second.
Yeah,
My
who's
first
your
character.
First character.
Actually, it was someone that I referenced earlier. It was that she was a half elf, half wood elf. I think she was I'm just gonna say she probably was a moon druid. That had her forest burnt down by rich people, and then that's where the whole conflict that came out otherwise. But really, I just wanted to play an angry character. But like not an angry character at other people, but like an angry character at, like society and like capitalism. Like, so yeah, that was her thing, and I guess it worked so well because that's part of like a whole 3 pages of the thesis I was talking about. They're dedicated to her and unpacking. Because there was a lot more stuff that I realized I added in, and I was like, if I psychoanalyze this,
Why
there's
does
a
that
lot
make
to
that?
unpack here. But yeah, she was my first character.
Who's your first character, Sparrow?
I don't remember much about my very first character because the campaign didn't last very long, and so I didn't have a time. I just remember that it was a Goliath. That's all I really remember.
I know a Goliath.
I say it's cool
That
that you
you're
got
playing.
to come back and get to play the
It
Goliath now.
wasn't a Goliath monk though, because I remember another like side character had a monk because the way that's like an homage, I guess. Whenever I say flurry of blows, is how that DM would say it, and it always stuck in my brain
Nice.
as flurry of blows. So I haven't really even used it with Lenos all that often, funny enough, but like,
Yeah.
I just know that it wasn't a monk, but the first character that I can remember was in that campaign that I mentioned previously, and I remember her name was Noelle, and she was a monk, but I don't remember if she was human or not, and she died pretty quickly. So, rip.
That is unfortunate.
George, who was your first character?
My first character, I have the character sheet somewhere, but it is
That's awesome, though. That's very
potentially older than some of the people watching this stream.
cool. Yeah, because what, you were in 1997, you were what, 30 when you went to that concert?
Yeah. Was already
It is
paying
possible.
taxes for my house at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was a half-elf sorcerer, and I did not play him for very long, unfortunately. I only went to that school for like half a year, and a bunch of crazy stuff in my life happened. I ended up moving from that high school to another high school, and from that high school to another high school. And the high school that I finally settled on, I had my first like long-term character, and that was in a class. I would consider that character more of my first character. And
What
they
was
were
he?
also basically a sorcerer, and they were a halfling. But since this was a class, multiple like students had to like share one character, and I knew this other person in the class was going to be absent a lot, and they're
Nice.
so I got to play the character mostly by myself, but there was a meme baked in because my real name is Logan. And this
Dun,
guy's-
dun, dun.
Don't tell anybody.
I know.
No one
this
knows.
guy's name is Logan. So we were Logan and Logan, so we played Logan.
I love that though.
Yes.
And then we had like a mini pony because we were a halfling, and we named them some variation of Logan. And we had a raccoon companion. They were also some variation of Logan. I don't remember what it was, but it was a lot of fun,
love
and it was
that.
ridiculous, and it was great because I got to play that character by myself basically the whole time.
That's so interesting that you guys had to like switch off, like based on who was there and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, so it was a continuation high school, so like a lot of the kids were like, I showed up to class, what more do you fucking want from me?
Sure,
So they're like
yeah.
half stoned, and they're like pissed off that they have to be at school, and like, and I
George,
was
do we
kind
have
of like
the same
that.
friends? I don't.
I was kind of like that for a while my freshman year, and then I was like, this school's fucking awesome. I'm playing D&D in class. I'm gonna go play Dota later. I got to do weight training this morning, and I finished up English classwork in like 10 minutes. So this school's all right.
Yeah.
Free food.
God,
Yeah, it was pretty cool. And again, I got to basically play D&D during class. So
That's so
Man,
nice.
I was the
I'm
real
so
winner.
jealous.
I've seen on Reddit and stuff, like teachers posting that they're like teaching, either having like a class where they're using D&D or running the after school programs for people. And
I
like,
love those teachers.
it's so cool. Like, and they introduce so many people to it. And I
If I
love
was
Yeah.
a
that.
teacher,
I
I'd
wish
be
that
that.
was
I would be that
me.
teacher.
Wizards
I want to be the
supports
student.
those people too. Like, which is
Yeah.
which I find super cool. Like, they will send them a bunch of books. And,
Fuck, I wish that had been a thing when I was in school, because
Yeah.
we were like, so Pathfinder had just kind of come out about this time. So if we weren't playing the system that my teacher designed himself called Storytellers, we would play Pathfinder, and that was a blast.
Yeah.
Good night, friendship.
Good night, friendship. It was a lot of fun. The whole thing was incredible. He
Yeah.
was probably like the best DM that I had ever had until I had Aaron, my DM over at Quest Vault, and
Aaron is an amazing DM.
it was like
I aspire to be.
it was similar
even a
vibes.
Smidge. That's
It
cool.
was it was like the same level of like meticulousness and love for the game, and it couldn't have come at a better time because I had just played at that dick table where I lost like 7 characters.
Oh wow, yeah. What a transition
no.
to go from like the dick table and then
To something
Or
that's
that.
not awful.
Oh yes, the dick
Something
table. You might
amazing.
have gone to my school.
we know the dick table, right?
Oh no! Sorry, you get that genuine laugh of me realizing what the joke was. Okay.
love it.
Hero, what was your favorite first character, not favorite character?
So my first character, I had theory crafted like a bunch. Before I got to even play, I was like, well, if I were going to play a game, this is the type of character that I would play. And you know, built out, like I built an elf ranger and I thought they were super cool. And then I had talked to like somebody who played D&D before. I actually hadn't played at that time. And they were just like, oh, rangers suck. They're like not even good and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh, I guess I won't play a ranger.
Oh.
So later on, I ended up playing. It was some weird class in 3rd edition or 3.5, where it was like a magic fighter kind of thing. And I always loved those style of characters, anyways. I love like the fighters with a little bit of like utility magic. And so I played something like that. I was in Curse of Strahd, I think is our first like major module.
God, that is
Yeah.
not a beginner module to
So
me.
it was,
It's
uh,
like,
Not
The hell of an entrance. But it was fun.
dying as the only person who's played any other D&D. Not to like, derail, but it was it was like my like 5th campaign, but it was a lot of people's first campaign. It was it was DM's first time DMing.
oh
And I was
boy.
just like
Yeah.
I'm so
It's not that it's
sorry.
like complicated or anything. It's just that it's brutal.
It's
a-
brutal, and
it's a
it's
different
like people
vibe.
are not expecting like 'cause
Gothic
that's like
horror type.
gothic
Mhm.
horror, especially if your first thing you're just like, we're Avengers, we drink, we be merry, we killed goblins, and
Yeah.
it's just like death.
Death. Everything sucks. Nobody's happy. Like,
If you're happy, you go to jail.
Yeah.
If you're not
Yeah,
happy,
and I think that was also another thing that why those things happened at that table is because that was the first campaign.
sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
At
Do you have any
least.
other... Sorry.
No, I was gonna say at least with I was playing in 3rd edition when I was playing it. It was like you couldn't leave that module. Like you're trapped in the land of Barovia. I don't know how it is now. I assume it's probably similar, but like yeah, you're stuck, and we were stuck in Barovia for like literal years. I think we were like just there playing Barovia, and like we didn't even beat it. We didn't even
No.
get through to the end of it. We just ended up like
I know
fizzling
the
out.
ending.
Yeah, it's a
I looked
lot.
it up.
It's a lot. I haven't
I
looked it
don't
up
wanna
just
know.
in
I
case
have
I
never
play it
finished that
someday.
either.
Just in case I do play it someday.
However,
Yeah.
I did download Beth the Bar's She's the Ancient, so I want to play that
Ooh.
sometime.
That'd be
Not
cool.
Because that's
Speaking of
Thanks,
playing things,
Yeah.
Jen, did you want to tell Jade what you received recently?
tell me.
Oh, I got Baldur's Gate 3.
Let's go.
Ooh.
And we need to do like a campaign maybe. If
Yes.
anyone in chat would be interested in watching.
I have Baldur's Gate 3 as well, so you know.
Wow. How many people can play at a time? Is it 4 or 5, 6?
4.
4.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's okay. I'll romance the bitchy vampire on my own.
On my own.
He is
Oh my
very,
God.
very mean, but my character had to be
Yeah.
mean because she was like, maybe if
What
I
do you
be
mean
mean, maybe he'll like me. And it worked.
You talking about the guy with the white hair and like
Yes, he's my favorite.
he's not mean.
I can-
He's you know.
He's mean.
Well, I
He's-
haven't played at all, so
You're like,
I'm very,
sure,
very
I'll help the
excited.
refugees, and he's just like, ugh.
Ugh.
Yeah. Okay.
To be
I
fair, I
digress.
get like that when I see people as well.
Yeah.
Fair.
Ugh,
Hmm.
I don't
this
know.
shit again.
Yeah.
Didn't we do this yesterday?
Can you guys help yourselves for one?
With
Yeah.
the people? Sign up for people.
That'd be a fun Patreon thing.
That would be
That
cool.
would be.
Yeah.
That would be so fun. Do you have any other questions?
That'd
There was another one
Do it.
that came in the chat that I saw for a
let's,
bit ago,
let's
but I
find
didn't.
it. Let's find it.
Find
I
it.
can't scroll up far enough, so if you remember it.
If somebody asked a question and we didn't answer it, definitely just put it in the chat again so we
Yeah,
can get to it.
repost.
How is everybody feeling? Do we need a tiny little break or no?
We could take a little break.
Yeah.
Just
Maybe
in general.
perhaps a tiny little break, and then we can come back and talk about the stuff that we're doing for camping too.
Yeah, that'd be super cool.
Sounds
Let's
good
do
to
it.
And
me.
answer any questions that we may have missed in chat that people put in again.
Yeah,
Yes.
please put them
Sounds good.
back.
Put
or-
So
them
help me.
back. Oh,
them back.
no mask how we met. That's the question that I saw.
Oh,
yeah, that's
how
the
we
one.
met.
Yeah.
Let's do that
Okay,
one before we
We can
leave,
do it, and then we'll go on break.
Can I do my bit real quick? Hold on.
Yeah, of course.
Put the question back. Okay.
Or put it in general chat, please.
Yes.
Because I don't have my glasses on, so I'm really trying to read.
Jen's gonna have to answer for both of us because I don't remember.
I'm gonna answer for I think four people.
I was
on
gonna say you're
screen.
gonna answer.
Aha, I'm the wild card.
I know. How did you meet Pond? That's where we'll start because you met Pond and Pond invited you, and then you met us.
I don't remember which one shot it was, but it either was a cyberpunk one shot with Just Too Casual, or a playtest one shot with Renee about their new subclasses. I think they had a stone druid, and then I was playing a little bit of a spoiler, the dragon barbarian who I'm making, who might be the Dragon Slayer Barbarian. It's a really cool subclass, I mean, if you're into homebrews. But I don't remember which one it was, but it was one of those. And yeah, we just vibed off of having mutual love of shenanigans and playing things out. Actually, no, I can confirm it was the cyberpunk one because they saved me. Her character at the time was she, they pronouns. They saved me because my character was like, hey, yo, there's booze, let me grab it all before we get to the hotel. And then I accidentally turn on the silent alarm.
Oh no.
And then it was like, expeditious retreat. So that was pretty fun. Yeah, I think that one was another one where it went on so long that yeah,
Because you guys role played so much.
We ended on a cliffhanger. We're supposed to get duped, and then the guy that we were hired for to rescue somebody, he just wanted us to rescue him so he could kill her.
Yeah.
And it ended off a cliffhanger of he tried to kill her, but I was too cool, too fast, and deflected. And then I was like, well, they don't have really any time to come back and try to fight that out. So it just ended on wow, we saved her instead.
Nice.
Good times, good times. Good
Hell
times.
yeah.
And then Pond was like, hey, you wanna audition? I was like, fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
And here we are with a lot of stuff in between, but yeah, here we are.
Hell yeah. That's awesome. I met Pond first. Pond was kind of part of a different group. And they posted in that Discord one day, they just said, hey, I want to play Cards Against Humanity online at blank, whoever, at everyone, I guess. Does anyone want to play with me? And I just was like, sure. And I brought Zach, and we played Cards Against Humanity with Pond and NPC voices and another person who I don't remember. And that was the blossoming of a wonderful friendship because we just hit it off really well. They used to have bangs that were this short, and their hair's changed so much over the last year and a half.
Love it.
4,000 times. And they're just a lovely human, and it's been awesome. And then they became a mod for the old show, and then they were invited to be on the show by me. But before they were on the show, I met George because our show rated his show. So Fateful Encounters rated Questwald, and I said, oh. I like that face. And we had a dice giveaway on our channel, and George won it. And then
what happened?
And then I slid.
I want to know. I don't know.
And then I slid into his DMs and was like, hey, like I did the dice exchange technically. We kept talking. I didn't send him the dice. Instead, I flew out there and became his girlfriend after 2 months of playing Final Fantasy together and hanging out every night till like 5 in the morning on Zoom calls or Discord calls. And then I brought the dice to him and it wasn't enough.
So here's what actually happened. She cornered me in that hotel room and said, listen, motherfucker, these are my dice. Unless I walk out of this room not single. And I did.
Yankee!
Whatever.
What any man would do in that situation, especially a man with a crippling dice addiction. And I said, yes, sweetie.
That's hella
We still have the
funny.
dice. Whichever story you believe. Whatever story you believe, let me know. Instead, we spent 2 months role-playing on Final Fantasy through the actual mail system in Final Fantasy, and like was sending each other letters every day, and like hang out all the time. But instead, he likes to believe this story that I just divorced this relationship. Anyway, and then that's how I met George. Definitely was George's story. And then I started streaming on my own, and I met Sparrow through Interpunkness.
I was gonna say I felt like it was Interpunkness, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, Interpunkness and like the extended community, which and then I met Hero through the extended community of Doomsday Cupcake, Hail Heidi, Watch Holly, like all that. Like all of it happened like around the same time. We were just like streamer friends for the last like year and a half.
Yeah.
And then we started playing D&D. I learned that something told me that you both liked D&D. And I think it might have just been like conversations on stream, like, something. And so I invited you guys.
I talk about it like it inevitably comes up because they'll be like, "Oh, like I like your tattoo," and I'm like, "Yeah, it's from D&D." Like,
yeah. I have no idea how I came up with Sparrow, but I knew something in my mind because I wouldn't have invited you if I didn't know. Like I said, like Sparrow's interested in D&D. We must have had a conversation sometime somewhere on stream.
Sparrow's just that
about
cool.
D&D, but. Yeah, I'm like, I don't know how it happened, but I know that it happened because I wouldn't have invited you.
You better see the face the look I just gave you.
I was watching. Don't give me that look. What are you?
I will yeet myself off this call so fucking fast.
Bye.
And then I think everyone kind of just like webbed together because of me.
Yeah.
That's true though.
And we go on break now.
Nice. All right. We'll be
Quick
back.
break.
Stay away from my dice.
But make sure to continue to hang out with us after the break because we're going to talk about their characters. We're going to talk about our lost
Campaign
game
2.
and some cool stuff.
Heck yeah.
Hey.
All right. See you in a bit. Bye.
Hey.
Bye.
Perhaps rich things don't sit well with me then.
Is it rich things or could it be?
Are you like Rowan?
That May? Yeah, you.
Ooh, I mean,
You attacked us, and you have more tears on your face than the person who died.
did you watch him kill everyone?
Oh yeah. No, I didn't, but I've seen it before with animals. I killed a man. And
I watched you kill like 7 of us. He's just like, he's significant. You hear a voice, very gentle in your head. You feel a soft, cool tingles sort of run down your spine. It says, "Child of Timora."
What is this?
Who is it? Which god is this?
Well, I know who Timora is, but
No,
like,
I know, but this is not Timoros.
how did you get this number?
It's a new phone.
About that time, you hear a loud crash from the Danis. Nothing.
Nothing. And Rowan's gonna walk towards whatever that noise was.
Yeah.
Danis is quickly like picking things up and putting them into his arms, and he just kind of like wheels around and looks at you.
Holding muffins, also looking at you.
Just splat. Just complete and utter.
I understand. Satomorphic.
Lisa, you have like probably one of the best shops around. It's everything's so unique. It's different. It's different, but in a good way.
All right, fine.
Fix it back up.
And she makes eye contact with Nisa and says, "On your mark."
Ready, set, go!
Constitution saving
Oh my
throws.
God.
Hey.
Swollen. I made you guys come here, and I don't want to make you wait until the next day.
You know what? I'm curious about where this goes. And she is going to hold on to her. No, at this point, she doesn't even wear gloves because y'all know the thing. So she's just going to touch her hand and it's going to glow. And you're now blessed for whatever you want to do.
Well, now I feel nervous.
And across his face. And as he's looking into your eyes, you can hear the sort of gasping, like, as his life starts to be drained from his body. And as the sort of purple and green lines come across his eyes and he takes his last breath, you pull your hand away and you see...
I can't do sports because of a bleeding disorder. Well, I couldn't do contact sports, so they were like, you could ride horses. I was like, horses smell like shit. You could play water polo. I can't swim that well.
Ringworm.
You could play golf.
I'm sorry.
Golf?
That was
I'm a teenager. I don't own a boat. I can't complain that much about the weather. They won't even let me rent a fucking golf cart.
Yeah.
So I got golf lessons, and
Sorry, was it like golf?
So I busted my mouth open with a fucking club bending down to get a ball one time, and and I stopped doing golf.
A level 2.
Okay.
By the way, I didn't mention that. Okay, so to hit, it is a 9.
A 9 will miss.
Rip.
Unfortunately.
Swing and a miss.
A swing and a miss. And that will bring us to Danis. Unfortunately, Danis, they did not get super within range of you. And I feel bad about that, but here we are.
Just a melee in airship combat.
Just melee and across his face. And as he's looking into your eyes, you can hear the sort of gasping, like, as his life starts to be drained from his body. And as the sort of purple and green lines come across his eyes and he takes his last breath, you pull your hand away and you see...
Perhaps rich things don't sit well with me then.
Is it rich things, or could it be...
You like Rowan?
Swollen. I made you guys come here, and I don't want to make you wait until the next day.
You know what? I'm curious about where this goes. And she is going to hold on to her. At this point, she doesn't even wear gloves because y'all know something. So she's just gonna touch her hand and it's gonna glow, and you're now blessed for whatever you want to do.
Well, now I feel nervous.
A level 2.
Okay.
By the way, I didn't mention that. Okay, so to hit, it is a 9.
A 9 will miss.
Rip.
Unfortunately.
Swing and a miss.
A swing and a miss. And that will bring us to Danis. Unfortunately, Danis, they did not get super within range of you. And I feel bad about that, but here we are.
Just a melee in airship combat.
Just melee.
About that time, you hear a loud crash from the room that Dan is in. Nothing.
Nothing. And Rowan's gonna walk towards whatever that noise was.
Yeah.
Danis is quickly like picking things up and putting them into his arms, and he kind of like wheels around and looks at you.
Holding muffins, also looking at you.
All right, fine.
Picks it back up.
And she makes eye contact with Nisa and says, "On your mark."
Ready, set, go!
Constitution saving
my
throws.
God.
Please.
Hey.
Set.
May.
Yeah, you.
Ooh, I mean,
You attacked us, and you have more tears on your face than the person who died.
did you watch him kill everyone?
Oh yeah. No, I didn't. But I've seen it before with animals. I killed a man.
I watched you kill like 7 of us. He's just like, he's significant. You hear a voice, very gentle in your head. You feel a soft, cool tingle sort of run down your spine. It says, "Child of Timora."
What is this?
Who is this? Which god is this?
Well, I know who Timora is, but
No,
like,
I know, but this is not Timora.
how did you get this number?
It's a new phone. Who knows?
I can't do sports because of a bleeding disorder. Well, I couldn't do contact sports, so they were like, "You could ride horses." I was like, "Horses smell like shit." You could
Ride
play
horses?
water polo. I can't swim that well.
Ringworm.
You can play golf.
I'm sorry.
Golf?
That was a
I'm
part
a
of my school.
teenager. I don't own a boat. I can't complain that much about the weather. They won't even let me rent a fucking golf cart.
Yeah.
So I got
Yeah.
golf lessons, and
so anyways, I played golf.
so I busted my mouth open with a fucking club bending down to get a ball one time, and and I stopped doing golf.
Just splat. Just complete and utter.
I understand. Sadomorphic.
Nisa, you have like probably one of the best shops around. It's everything so unique. It's different. It's different, but in a good way. Nisa, you have like probably one of the best shops around. It's everything so unique. It's different. It's different, but in a good way. I'm a level 2.
Okay.
By the way, I didn't mention that. Okay, so to hit, it is a 9.
A 9 will miss.
Rip.
Unfortunately.
Swing and a miss.
A swing and a miss. And that will bring us to Danis. Unfortunately, Danis, they did not get super within range of you. And I feel bad about that, but here we are.
Just a melee in airship combat.
Just melee.
About that time, you hear a loud crash from the room that Danis is in. Nothing?
Nothing. And Rowan's gonna walk towards whatever that noise was.
Yeah.
Dennis is quickly like picking things up and putting them into his arms, and he kind of like wheels around and looks at you.
Holding muffins, also looking at you.
Just splat. Just complete and utter.
I understand. Say no
Yeah.
more.
And across his face. And as he's looking into your eyes, you can hear the sort of gasping, like, as his life starts to be drained from his body. And as the sort of purple and green lines come across his eyes, and he takes his last breath, you pull your hand away and you see.
Swollen. I made you guys come here, and I don't want to make you wait until the next day.
You know what? I'm curious about where this goes. And she is going to hold onto her. No, at this point she doesn't even wear gloves because y'all know the thing. So she's just gonna touch her hand and it's gonna glow. And you're now blessed for whatever you want to do.
Well, now I feel nervous.
All right, fine.
Picks it back up.
And she makes eye contact with Nisa and says, "On your mark."
Ready? Set. Go!
Constitution saving
my
throws,
God.
please.
Hey.
Set.
May?
Yeah, you.
Ooh, I mean,
You attacked us, and you have more tears on your face than the person who died.
did you watch him kill everyone?
Oh yeah. No, I didn't. But I've seen it before with animals. I killed a man.
I watched you kill like
Gets
7 of
close.
us. He's just like, he's significant. You hear a voice, very gentle in your head. You feel a soft, cool tingles sort of run down your spine. It says, "Child of Timora."
What is this?
Who is this? Which god is this?
Well, I know who Timora is, but
No,
like,
I know, but this is not Timora.
how did you get this number?
It's a new phone. Who knows?
I can't do sports because of a bleeding disorder. Well, I couldn't do contact sports, so they were like, "You could ride horses." I was like, "Horses smell like shit." You could
Ride
play
horses?
water polo. I can't swim that well.
Ringworm.
You could play golf.
I'm sorry.
Golf?
was a
I'm
sport
a
in high school.
teenager. I don't own a boat. I can't complain that much about the weather. They won't even let me rent a fucking golf cart.
Yeah.
So I got
Yeah.
golf lessons, and
so anyways, I played golf.
so I busted my mouth open with a fucking club bending down to get a ball one time, and and I stopped doing golf.
Perhaps rich things don't sit well with me then.
Is it rich things, or could it be?
Rowan? About that time, you hear a loud crash from the room that Danis is in. Nothing?
Nothing. And Rowan's gonna walk towards whatever that noise was.
Yo! Welcome back, everybody.
Yo.
Hello.
Hello, friends.
I've not seen The Last of Us.
We're back.
Welcome everybody back. Thank you for being here and thank you for hanging out. We have asked a lot of questions and answered a lot of questions about us and our experience of D&D and sports and music and high school and childhood trauma and the experience.
And academic papers.
But what we also wanted
heck.
to talk about, and now that Sparrow's here, we wanted to talk about like kind of campaign 2 stuff and also answer any questions that you guys might have. But these lovely people have already played a one-shot with the characters that they're going to be playing and determining if they like them, if they want to keep playing them, and I want to know who they are. What are they about?
Mm-hmm.
Let's,
Well,
Heck yeah.
I believe I was voluntold earlier to go first.
okay.
But how much do I want to reveal?
I know, that's the tricky bit.
So I'm gonna be playing a druid.
Question mark?
Okay.
Nice, druid.
And,
What does your druid look like?
You have reached
purple. Purple.
you've reached the limit of what George wants.
Maybe a druid,
Uh-huh.
probably purple.
Got it.
And
got
they
it.
might
That's my brand.
Yeah.
valid. They might
Yeah.
they might sound a little like this. Whoa.
Hi.
Hi.
That's it.
No,
That's all you get.
Say a
no.
sentence. Wow.
Oh,
He's all giggly.
Just hello.
I know.
That's all you get.
Hello.
And you guys are missing out too because it is an amazing character.
True.
But
Hero, tell us
soon.
about your. Oh, George.
Anonymous.
Oh, thank you, Anonymous.
Thank you, Anonymous.
Thank you.
For the $5.
Maybe
$5.
Anonymous thinks that if you tip, we'll get
Yeah,
more
yeah.
information.
Pay for answers. All right, so
If we do get more tips and you want it read in that voice, I'll do it.
yes.
Please do.
Yeah.
I would do it, but
Thank
I'm
you,
broke.
Anonymous, in your voice. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it.
Thank you, Anonymous.
Ooh.
It's
So like you're
so.
part of Anonymous.
I know.
So George is playing a hacker.
You have 72 hours.
I remember when those were prevalent. Oh my
Yes.
god.
Remember when they said that they were gonna do something like years ago and then they never did it? That was fun.
Fun times. Fun times.
But no, we're about the
Sentries,
characters.
hello.
Campaign 2.
Yes.
Okay.
Can do.
Hero, who are you playing?
I am playing. I'm playing Rogar Redfang, a large male half orc. He's big, beefy. He stands about 6'5", 6'7", somewhere in between there. Large, big muscles. Dad bod style. No abs in sight. But he is he's a mixture because I can't get past not playing multi-class. So he is a fighter and a barbarian, which is
it because
awesome.
you want to action surge while raging?
I'm going to.
Okay, I was wondering.
It's not so, and it's actually not. So the reason why is because the classes the subclasses that I'm going to pick, they work so well together. I can tie them together thematically, and I think they work really well. And I want to explore that once I get into the story, because I don't have any subclasses right now, so I want that to come out as part of the playing. But I'm super excited. So yeah, big barbarian fighter, and completely different from Aurelian. He's super friendly with everybody, and not the sharpest tool in the shed. He's not dumb, but
Somebody wants.
I saw the Shrek thing and it just
Then you said sharpest tool. Anyway.
oh, he's a big green dude. He's Yep, yeah, I'm playing Shrek. But yeah, he's super cool. I'm excited to play somebody who's more of a, I mean he's kind of a himbo, but I'm excited to play somebody who's so completely different from Aurelian because I think that'll be really cool.
We love a himbo.
Yeah, we love big himbo energy.
It's true.
But yeah, so it's cool. I will reveal more about him like as I play, but you know, there's more than the surface level stuff, and I'm excited to dig into.
Would you
that.
say that he has layers?
Yeah, like an onion. But yeah, super excited, and I can't wait to get the art. We're gonna be submitting our art request soon, right? Next
We are.
next
In,
week.
like,
Excited.
I gotta
basically end of the week.
Yeah, that's big. Oh, I cannot wait.
Gotta get your
To do my mood board.
Yeah.
Do your mood boards, and then we'll get to share
Mine's
those with
done,
our
baby.
patrons.
Who are
That's
you
gonna be
playing,
cool.
Jade?
Yeah.
Oh, I am playing Amara, who is a Longstrider shifter bard druid. Her subclasses don't really play that much into each other, but that's part of her character. That will be explained later. She's kind of like the town orphan, not in the sense of like, well, everyone's like, boo, you orphan, but like she hops around to different houses. And the house that she stays with the most is with a potion maker lady. So she does a lot of fetch and gathering kind of types of stuff. And she's also, and more importantly, her druid circle is the circle of the healing, which is a homebrew thing that we're doing that is connected to the world. So very, very cool too. Very excited to see how we get this sorted, because I think it's going to be a really awesome, like, making the character feel like they're in the world. Also, she does have ears and a tail.
An actual cat girl. I mean, I can read
Literally.
I love it.
I can read the synopsis that I gave you guys about the healing, because it is a continent aware. Every person who lives on this continent is aware of the healing. The healing is a tree that grows fruit in the northernmost part of the mountains. The fruit provides life and is known to bring dead beings back from the dead. Surrounded by overgrown mushrooms, creating entire buildings and an entire town full of skeletons, undead, and other things that have reaped the benefit of the actual aura of gentle repose that emanates from the healing through the entire town. Some people have taken the journey to bring their loved ones back, or terminally ill have gone to live their life out there reposed. As well, there's a huge hot springs in this town with healing properties, known to aid people's lost limbs, pained memories, and the like. The mountaintop town is entirely run and also populated by druids who worship the healing, and it's a high honor in all druid culture in this continent to be accepted as a follower of the healing. So that is the homebrew god that you are this circle of.
I'm special.
I'm special. And that leaves Sparrow.
Yep.
Who are you playing?
Uh-huh.
Well, I mentioned earlier that I wasn't gonna play cards close to the vest with this character. So she's gonna be kind of like an opposite of Linosa a bit. Not as quiet, not as tall. Her name is Hashladun Harley Hedonist, and she is a Hexblade Warlock. And she's got these two lovely axes that she won in a card game. The one time in her life that she probably has never cheated. Well, she has not cheated in a card game. And she won them from a very angry, very large orc barbarian. So she's basically on the run from that particular person. But she is very sassy, she's got a lot of heat. We'll just say that. She also has a lot of nicknames.
Yeah.
A lot of nicknames.
She's spicy.
Poor Jen. Poor Jen was like, what do I call this character?
I was calling you
We're doing the.
name, middle name, last name, triple H, age, all sorts of things throughout the.
He is spicy.
Is Triple H, is that a wrestling reference?
It is a wrestling
Yeah.
That's
reference.
exactly
indeed.
what
Okay.
You didn't.
Would Sparrow
my favorite.
ever make
Wow.
a wrestling reference? Like, even once?
I don't.
Wait, what was?
What's next? Power Rangers? Birds?
Hold on while I Google
Well,
what Triple
I can
H's
answer it for you.
walkout
That's more fun
song was
time.
because I remember.
The game Triple H. He currently uses a song by Motorhead that was made for him specifically
Oh
because
my God.
prior to Lemmy's death, they were very close friends.
Interesting. Did not know that.
Yes. Take me
Yeah.
back.
Yeah. I thought you were gonna ask what like the real Triple H's name stood for, and I was like, I can tell you, you don't need to Google that.
You don't need to.
Old Hunter Hearst Helmsley, which yes, they did call him that originally, just the whole thing.
Wow. And here
Awesome.
comes Hunter Hearst Helmsley. I love it.
His first wrestling name when he was in World Championship Wrestling. Sorry, this is a wrestling podcast now.
Nice.
Was Terra Rising.
That's
Terra
That's right.
Rising.
T-E-R-R-A.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's terrorizing.
glad we
so
Anyway, yes.
I wrote up a one shot to give the players a little like exposition, a little bit about the world that they're gonna play in, and introduce them to the B-Beg. But in kind of like a he's not gonna murder you because you showed up type of way, and hopefully a fun way. So I will read the exposition, and then you guys will talk about your game. Yeah,
Yes.
because guys, it's gone.
It's lost.
Fine.
I'm sorry.
Fine.
No, I didn't say you did this.
I know,
I'm just saying
but
the game is gone.
But Jen, you also know by saying that he was gonna be like, the guilt.
No guilt. Shit happened. At the end of the
day.
day, it's a fun experience that we had as a group
Yeah.
for you guys
True.
to test your characters, and that was what I wanted.
It
so.
was so much fun. I just want to say, it was so much fun. I loved everybody's characters so much. Like,
No.
I'm very
okay.
excited.
So here's the exposition. Let me highlight it so I don't miss it. In the waxing crescent shaped continent of Nasai, there are two mountain ranges, one on the east that separates the land from the once sprawling and politically prominent city of Zuel, once ruled by gods and left to the werewolves and beasts to get stronger by the Blood Sea. And one to the north, surrounded by purity and followers of the healing, a magical phenomenon and heavily sought-after healing power, protected by dragons in deserted and destroyed lands around the mountaintop. The rest of the body of the land is diverse in city shape and type, culture, wildlife, morals, and goals. The West, full of orcs, bugbears, Goliaths, and the larger folk, leading lives full of raiding, honorable deaths, and the old ways. The center, vast with forest leading all the way to the healing, said to be growing larger by the soul provided to the soil, untouched by the dragons near the northern mountain, known to have ranger clans, tabaxi villages, and druids. And the east, before the mountain range leading to the Blood Sea, known for its thriving schools, lots of work for adventurers who need coin from educators who need supplies, gems, and components. And that's the world. And then I said, what are you guys doing in the world? And you guys take over.
I definitely hesitated, and I'll say this now, because I wasn't sure where we were going. So my first instinct was to be like, Triple H is fucking somebody, and I went.
You did it. You said sleep.
I think that
She's
there's
asleep.
significantly more horny in this group than the past group.
Yeah,
True.
we said they were in a room definitely not alone.
You did say they weren't like it wasn't their room. You were
Yeah.
like, it's not their room.
I didn't say they weren't. I didn't say they weren't alone. I said it definitely was not her bed.
Oh, okay.
That's what
Okay.
it was.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I interpreted that
Mhm.
correctly or
I
incorrectly. I mean,
I didn't specify if there was someone there or not. I just said it wasn't her bed. So,
whatever.
But, yeah.
I'm sus about that.
Yeah, first instinct was because I didn't know where she was going, like if someone was gonna
You're
break
down to
in or
party?
what, but like, yeah. So
Down to party.
I was like, she's passed out. She's just like fucking out. And I didn't say from what. That's that she was.
she's out.
Yep.
And Jade and Hero's character were
Yeah.
together, but not like together. They were
Not
just
like
in the same
together.
And not just
area.
together, but like
I mean, spoilers. I'm kidding.
Again, heroes down to party.
down to party, down to
No,
party, down
I
to party.
did mention this in our like character discussions because like not only does Jade the person, but also my character, because she's a host romantic, has a soft spot for strong women in himbos. So I was just like, this is a nightmare.
What kinds of tension?
Before knowing that this is the route that people were taking, and so now it's like,
Yeah.
oh no.
I
You're
don't.
That's
screaming.
awesome.
I don't know for a fact like the way that Pond is gonna like play their character, but they could also fall into one of those categories.
Oh no.
I will say this. I don't know if I would call Triple H a strong woman, but she is.
You
potentially-
exude,
Yeah.
you exude the girl boss gas like you keep energy.
100%. You
Yeah, wait
strong
until she gets
vibes.
into a fight that she's like scared she's not gonna win. You're gonna be like, where the fuck did she go?
and then as far as Rogar is concerned, he exudes male wife energy. So therefore,
Nice.
Male
Amara's-
wife. We love
Amara's reigns like ceases, like Amara exe.exe does not work. But I guess we'll do our intros together. So Amara, you see a brown skin girl with tall fox ears that have tufts of pink and white and a long black fuzzy tail. But the rest of her seems to be very much druid-like in nature, and she goes on stage and carries a lute. Her brunch set goes on to normal. She usually plays love songs and ballads with a hint of, heroic deeds being recorded. But all of a sudden, there seems to be one person in the crowd who decides to change it up a little bit.
Yeah. So Rogar, being happy and enjoying the company of everyone around him, even though they may not enjoy his company as much, finds himself in a situation where he's upset some of the local patrons and is challenged to a fight and gladly takes it up, not out of maliciousness, but just out of the joy of sport and fighting. And so with a smile on his face, proceeds to incite a bar brawl at whatever brunch time this is.
Whatever love ballad was playing is now at twice the BPM, and Amara is that gif from Road to El Dorado where she's like this, trying to time her song with the fight that's going on, because she is not used to how no one really usually fights at brunch, but this guy does.
Right.
They're not drinking enough unlimited Bloody Marys.
Yeah, what a I mean,
True.
no better way to start a day.
You see the druids, they're like kind of like chiller people, so. But what about the boy
George. The boy.
The boy.
or the person?
So, my character, functional unit of nurturing and garnering interpersonal interrelationships, was sitting.
Not also known as.
Of a glade, surrounded by the local flora and fungi.
Coincidentally, their name is Fungi.
Adorable.
Fungi surrounded by fungi.
So essentially, what I'm I'll explain what I'm planning to do later.
We're a
fine.
fun guy protection squad. That's what we are.
Yeah.
That'd be adorable.
George, I don't know
so
what it
the-
is. I always say I always
No.
want to protect your character. It's-
I know. I was like, this is the second like soft character. Well, Danis, but Danis murder. Danis murdering a boat worth
he
of
has
people.
2 modes.
but-
John Cena, are you sure about that meme?
Amara's under 5 foot ass. I want to protect the big robot.
Yes.
Don't know how, but
Martha-
I will.
Shit! I thought Triple H was gonna be the shortest
You're
character. in
under
this film.
5. So how big is everybody? Like
How
what's
tall is everyone? Yeah,
Amara is 5, or not 5, 4'11".
4'11".
She's big.
I'm checking the amendment that I sent to Jen. Triple H
It's
is
not accurate on
5'4".
the character sheet.
5'4".
What are you
Triple H
talking
is
about? That's
5'4".
average height. That's my height.
I'm 5'5".
That's short. I would say that with the hat
Everything is short to George. He's 6'.
that Fungi has, probably like 6'1", 6'2".
nice?
Okay.
Yeah, and Rogar just a
You
little
know.
bit a little taller than George, just a little, but he's 6'7", so just a large dude.
A whole foot taller.
I think
That's just a-
I remember.
large dude.
Are we gonna go like through everything that we did, or are we just?
I mean,
having
that's up to you
highlights?
guys. It's just kind of like a synopsis of.
I
what
remember
happened.
distinctly because Mara does not have a filter, and I really did channel it a little bit too well. In which my character was just like, "Yeah, we can use the shrinking potion to make Rogar normal size," and I was like, "Oh." Because as far as I know, people aren't tall.
I believe Triple H said something to the effect of, and I'm not going to do the accent yet because I want to leave
Yeah.
that as a
Yeah.
thing.
Same.
But I think she said something like she was surprised that she wasn't the one that said the first offensive thing.
I know.
Yeah.
Has met mouth.
So the
And then
group,
Rogar's like, "What's wrong with me?"
I know, you're like, am I too tall?
Yes.
The group like sprawled out throughout this continent, like at the same time, began to like black out. They all failed their checks, which was kind of cool for me.
Boy,
Did-
did I
did
fail
we?
those checks.
Yeah, you failed your checks.
I did it on purpose, so for what
You
that's
did
worth.
because you were sleeping.
I had to be helped.
DC had to be pretty significant because I believe they were wisdom checks.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were. The wisdom check was 25. You guys all did less than that,
Dang.
so you
Yeah.
technically all failed your check. It's not impossible. It's just
But then
really
there's
high.
con saves.
I need the story to progress. Thank you. So at the same
Yeah, but you were like, "Oh, it was so nice that everybody failed their impossibly high."
Yeah, it was so nice. I
That-
mean,
that
so
literally
unlikely,
only one
but-
character could have saved on, and they would have had to roll like a natural 19. It's fine.
It's fine.
Possible though.
Yeah, even with a nat 20, you would have been able to save
No,
as
definitely not.
another
Fine.
wisdom
It's
person.
You were supposed to fail for the one shot, okay? Illusion
for
of
the-
choice. My
Not
gosh.
the vibe anymore.
So everyone started hearing the Beebeg's voice saying that she saw a vision, and it was you, the group, and it said, "You're going to destroy me." That vision says, and you're gonna win. It says, and then everything went black as you guys heard. Like, I won't let that happen. And then you were brought to an undisclosed place where you guys were locked in a room. Whee! And the room slowly filled with water as
Locked
you
and
guys.
chained to the floor.
Okay, yeah. So if we gotta be specific.
It's an important detail. It's a very important detail.
I was gonna say because of what happened to Hero's character, it is kind of an
Yeah.
important detail.
That's true. That's true. Hero's character was pulling on the chains, and every
Brute
time you pulled on
force.
it, you got closer and closer to the floor
Yeah.
with less slack.
But like
And then
did
you were
not stop. Just
you were
digging a
laying in the
hole.
ground. It was great. Jade's character took forever to wake up, and
Tickled her with a mage
Have
hand.
a -1 on con, and it was a con save. What did you expect?
I don't know. We got you up. It worked out. With a tickle of the feeties.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
but the bee bag was giving you like riddles, essentially, like in each room that you went through. The first one was like, how do you escape? And then the water started rising and you guys had to get out of there by pressing a button on the ceiling. And you guys were naked, but I kind of failed to mention that. I just said you were mostly not clothed.
Mostly not clothed.
The interactions would have been completely different had I known.
I know.
And not in a weird way.
Yeah, because then you were like, oh, could I climb you up and then...
That would have been a lot weirder.
We just ignore this.
I have so many jokes to make, but none of them are appropriate.
Yeah, and you guys successfully like got through everything really quickly. You went into the next room where there was 4 chests, and you heard like the thing give you a riddle about how if you get it wrong, like it's gonna be hard for you. And you guys pretty much deduced very quickly that one of the chests was a mimic. And you picked all the right ones and still attacked the mimic afterward.
It's because I'm clairvoyant, obviously.
It was hilarious. So you guys
I figured that it was going to be a situation like if we left the mimic, it was going to like come after us because we had no idea where we were going or what was going on, like, you know, so like
that's fair.
I was like, we might as well kill this motherfucker now because like I don't want to be in a situation where we're going down a tight corridor and we just see this chest just coming after us.
But one of the homebrew like things that I have is that you have to make a conscious choice to kill things. Yeah. And I think I presented that pretty well for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Just it actually like didn't attack anybody. You guys murdered it. It was just trying to take Rogor's weapon.
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean, that's
he wanted it.
Grounds for murder.
But you guys murdered him. But that's the kind of stuff that like I'll bring to the table, is like explaining the misery that something is being brought in by being continuously punched. And murdered and hit with axes and mushrooms.
Their insides filled with mushrooms.
Yeah, casually.
And now they're
we messed that
feeding
mimic up.
a new colony.
Yeah. They're
back a part of the ecosystem, circle of life, and all that.
And then you guys went through the rest of the hallway and was brought to 3 doors, and you guys picked one of the doors that led to a room with potions, where you guys spent so much time.
Not my proudest moment.
Okay, to be fair, I did say I only skimmed the first paragraph.
I know.
To be fair.
I knew there was more.
We had 3 very big personalities from the other people playing, and then my character's just kind of like being a robot.
I could solve riddles.
All 3 of them.
His Jade Brain is like, yeah, surely, like purple is always the color of royalty, and then but Amara would be like, potions.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked I don't know, actually, you know what, I'm going to resist talking about anybody else's character because I don't want to know what they're going to reveal, but I really liked the dynamic that happened in that room, minus we just need more fungi in our life.
That's true. We need more fungi.
But a funnier tidbit was that as a teaser for Amara is that she labels her potions and they look like little either like skulls but with cat ears, and they're like or like happier ones to make sure that that the potions are correctly labeled.
I love it.
You know what it reminds me of?
What?
Emperor's New Groove.
Yes.
I thought of that too.
Rogar is
I was like
I
was trying to fit like a llama joke with the cat ears, and I just couldn't think anything up during the game.
Shifter. I am a shifter.
That'd be so cute. Yeah. But the puzzle was like you come in, you see a magical
Lectern.
Lectern. Sorry, I said pew. What? A magical lectern that tells you, if you look at it, that there's illusion magic happening. And you're supposed to read the clues, which tell you that you need to make purple. The end. You did not do that. But if you started mixing things and picked up the illusioned health potion and started mixing that with things, it would have broken them. You ended up just pocketing it. So
Took
it worked
everything.
out. Yeah. It worked
my
out.
God.
You guys made it to the next room, which was a panel room, which Triple H just completely walked on the wall and was like, I don't need to do this puzzle.
Yeah, like there's a bunch of traps
Nice.
along the floor, and you're like, no.
Nah, I'm good.
I was scared to do it because I thought Jenna was gonna be like, "Yeah, you hit a wall, like an
Yeah.
invisible wall." I'm like, "Fuck."
Yeah.
Yeah. I find it actually hilarious because I was thinking about that earlier. And everyone else in the party, without revealing anything, has the capabilities to walk on walls.
Except
Except
for
for
me.
Rogar.
You guys have all these cool powers, and Rogar's just like,
I guess I'll walk
He's
right into the trap.
I got a lot of hit points. I could just just walk right through all of them.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
At the end, you guys met the bee-bag briefly, kind of like through like a hologram type thing. And she said to you, like, you completed my I don't remember what I made her said. You completed my challenge, and I might call on you in the future to help me.
She
or
said
something like that.
yeah, she liked us. Like,
Yeah, she said she liked you, and she might ask you to work for her at some point.
I'm just
so.
going to casually point out that
Big
Jen
likes us.
has used both she, her, and he, him pronouns for the bee-bag. So
Mhm.
I don't know if that was on purpose or by accident. I'm just gonna point that out casually, and we can keep moving.
It's on purpose.
Okay.
Technically, they are a masked individual with a femme presenting voice. So that could be anything.
So we could possibly work for the bad guy, someday.
Maybe. It depends on how it goes.
If we
And I'm
want.
very excited for the
Mhm.
game.
Yeah.
Because that is a dynamic that I presented right up front.
Mhm.
Everyone, it like zoomed out, technically, like if this was a camera, it would like zoom out and like you would see the bee-bag holding a crystal ball, and then he crushed it, and you guys woke up, and Rogar got punched in the face.
Yeah.
From the bar fight that you were
unfreezes.
originally in.
Yeah.
Time unfroze. But when you unfroze, you all had a branding on you, and it was a branding of the Mad God. So, symbol of one of the gods that is an evil god. So, very interesting. Very interesting.
Nice.
So yeah, I mean, I just took you like through a little synopsis of everything, but what else did you guys want to talk about the game? If anything.
I don't know. I just it was fantastic. I'm very curious to see what Pon's character is going to be like.
Same.
That's
Yeah.
the wild card.
I know,
Yes.
which is exciting. I mean, that's super cool. But yeah, I loved everything.
I was the wild card last time.
We gotta have one every
No
season.
fair. Otherwise,
true.
we'll have 2 wild cards, and then it'll be like, no fair. Feywild not has 2 wild cards. So it had to be done.
Yeah.
Oh, can we talk about Kato? Okay, let me grab him.
Sure.
This is my step cat because he's not mine. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Okay, so he's not happy. I call him my step cat because this is my partner's cat. That got basically his mom was like, "You want a cat?" And he was like, "No." And he's like, "Well, you're getting one anyways," because he's a stray.
Yeah.
And his name is Cheez-It. He
Gee.
commits unspeakable crimes, and he's the reason why I now have to wash all the clothes I own, because he just got I mean, he just got neutered, but before he peed on everything. So
The worst.
man,
yeah, that's why I don't claim him as my own. Sometimes I do when he's really cute, but when he does these unspeakable crimes, he is not my cat. I just watch over him. We've also concluded that he is not fully a cat of color because he calls me by my first name, not mom, which is something that I've only seen very particular people of Caucasian descent do. Because if you said to my mom, if I called my mom by her first name, I'd be dead, and a lot of people would. But I've seen it happen for like a particular subset of individuals.
Fun fact, I am in the rare minority on that. My mother insisted that we not call her mother.
Yeah.
Maybe she just hates the word.
Well, I mean, we can talk about that off camera.
Yeah, welcome to the couch,
deep
like
into
the
Feywild now.
was it the armchair analysis of Sparrow and their family?
Yeah,
No,
so my grandmother was
Patreon
Mama.
content, right?
Yeah.
My grandmother was Mama. My mom was first name.
Ah, well,
Wow.
yep. The more you know. But
That's
yeah.
cool.
But my black cat's black, and Nemo, he is Blasian. These are the headcanon races of my cats.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Love this.
I'm
Funny.
Well, my friends, I think we've come to a point where we can wrap up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
Wow.
Next week
Winter Wolf is sorry your clothes got peed on. Yeah, true. We don't have time to unpack all that. You right? Motherfucking right. We do not have 30 years. You are correct.
Subscribe to the Patreon to
See all the
I got it. We'll screen record my therapy session.
Yeah, we're just
And add
Feywild and
the
out therapy
tier.
sessions.
The highest tier of Patreon is just me, like, with my camera on, just being like, and then she said to me one day that she didn't give a shit how I felt. She was gonna ask my partner if she was interested in kids anyway, and then it just went from there.
And then
I feel it.
It's just filmed, what was it, 72 hours style?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I was saying
Well, yeah, sorry.
in
Sorry.
character therapy sessions would be very interesting.
There is
a lot to unpack
character-
there.
So I had a really fun NPC in one of my games that was trying to essentially start the reign of mental health
Yeah.
care.
I love this.
Because
this is so you.
Yeah.
specifically because in my game there was an orphanage with a teen who was dropped off because he was killing people in his sleep. That was all the players got. They were super interested in this. Turns out he was a necromancer, and while he was sleeping, he was casting bone shard on people and ripping out their bones from their bodies from the room over. So, they were like, we need to get you to a therapist out of character. And then at that moment, I was like, the orphanage has a card for, it's handwritten, and it just has the name of a gnome who wants to help with mental health. And they're like, well, we don't believe in that stuff, so we haven't taken him. And they took him, and I did this like role play with myself therapy session with the kid and the little therapist gnome. It was great.
Yeah.
And the adults were there, and they were like, oh, and don't forget this part. Don't forget to talk about that. Like, it was so cute. It was so funny.
Oh, it's awesome. I love it.
Yeah, I think that all of the Campaign 1 characters need therapy.
Seriously?
expeditiously.
Yes.
True.
Yes.
Nisa started off being totally not okay with murder, and then she was an assassin on a ship.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like we try to help each other. Like we definitely our characters do try to help each other through some shit. But we're all going through it. Like oof.
True.
Yeah, therapy
there's
during
that-
D&D seems a little redundant.
Yeah. But
Exactly.
Isn't that what we're doing?
You know, this certain author defines therapy as. I'm sorry. I'll link it to the 20-page document. Don't you worry.
The highest tier
guys,
patron is just Jade's thesis.
You can unlock Jade's thesis.
It has sources. It has AIDS I had to take a screenshot of like Lost Mines of Phandelver.
I'm so
Nice.
It was
happy.
just a very surreal moment because I had to defend that, and they're like, "So with this what is it, goblin and this halfling character that this subject one played because I had to I did a one shot, but then we had to like name the people who were playing subject one and subject two, subject three. But yeah, that's another Patreon content. I'll just explain it later. So."
Sounds awesome.
My thesis was so different. It wasn't D&D related at all. Missed opportunity.
Hyperfixations and good timing. That's the only reason why it happened. I almost made costume designed an entire show instead. So I'm glad I did that
love
because that was
that.
a lot less work. Yeah.
Hell yeah. My thesis
Neat.
was lame. Not really. It was pretty cool. I did the link between sound localization and autism in autistic youth. So I
Yeah.
studied autistic youth and determined whether or not they could localize sound, meaning if they can tell where a sound is coming from. So like we put headphones on them and played a sound on the left and they had to press an arrow. That was it.
Yeah.
And there was a correlation, but correlation does not equal causation, and it was my thesis, and it let me graduate. The end.
Hell yeah.
Mood.
Love it.
But yeah. So next week we will possibly have session, possibly have game night. We'll see. Depends on baby time
Depends
and
on baby.
Pondo. But starting the 25th, we will be having a once weekly one shot in canon to the Game 2 world, and then in 8 weeks, we will be starting Game 2. So hell yeah.
So
But
excited
yeah.
for all the one shots. It's gonna be awesome.
Me too.
Yeah.
Oh,
Let's see.
We
Should
raided?
we raid somebody?
yes.
See,
I
why
think
not?
so, yeah.
Heck
Let's do
yeah.
it. Who
All
is
right,
on?
let's see who's live. Let's see. I have 2 people playing. 3 people playing Dungeons and Dragons.
I love that I can see
4
everybody's
people
beautiful
playing
faces,
Dungeons
like
and
in
Dragons that I'm
full
following.
quality now.
I have a suggestion.
Yeah.
It is something, but how about casters and castles? Because they're very interesting because they're all esports casters.
Hell yeah,
Playing
that's
Wow.
cute.
Dragons.
I
Yeah,
actually didn't know that.
Yeah. And one of them is now doing Overwatch. Actually, 2 of them are now doing Overwatch League. They just got announced, so. And they're also homies of me, so I'm happy.
I
that
think
they
they
are
just
doing-
raided Quest and Chaos.
Dang it!
Well, dang, I was about to suggest Quest and Chaos.
I
for
guess
my
we're going to
choice.
cast on Chaos.
Go to Quest and Chaos.
Okay, Quest and Chaos it is.
That is, oof, that sucks, but it's okay.
Next
Yes.
time.
The name of the
Yes.
game.
It is. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with
my
us
God,
today
yeah.
for so long for a Q&A.
Yeah,
Thank you for
y'all
the
are
Q&A,
great.
everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here, Lo.
Appreciate
We
you.
appreciate you guys. We'll
Yeah,
see you
Lo.
next Monday, hopefully for the last episode.
Yes.
Whoa, last episode of the first game,
Big hype.
Monday. Well, last episode of the first arc, at least.
Yeah.
And then chapter 2 will happen at another point in time.
They will be
So
returning.
you're not done with these
That
characters.
means that we're gonna play these characters some more?
A
Yeah,
little
it's the
bit at
whole-
least.
over
Oh, I can't
Greg's dead body. We will.
Thank you guys.
Rest in peace, rest
We'll
in
see
peace.
you in a bit. Let's make sure to put a raid phrase in chat.
Let's do
really
it. Raid
quick.
phrase. What's a raid phrase?
D&D therapy.
Yeah, D&D therapy. That
D&D
TM
is
TM TM
therapy.
TM TM. That's
I
ours.
feel
That's
like
ours.
if you say
Say
go
it
to
loud enough.
therapy, that might be very red flaggy. So we gotta-
So
There we
TM,
go.
that's our thing.
Therapy.
You can't steal it.
go to
Perfect.
Go to therapy.
All right, friends.
Bye,
Go to the
friendos.
goodbye screen.
Love
Bye.
you. Bye-bye.
Love you the most.
Bye.